All right, who can tell me what happened last time?
We got lost in the subway.
Well, first we arrived at the town just south of the center, and apparently there is a forest between that town and Orna, which is quite tricky to navigate. But there is a venture run by a bunch of fears, which let you cross in basically a bunch of hours. So we got diamonds to pay them, got through, went to Orna, navigated that damn subway system, got a bit lost, but other than that, not much of an issue.
We did
Then-
get a glimpse of Mr. Pirate Wizard.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
was going to say, we found him at the market square, navigated around him, found the magic shop that Ferris runs without much incident until we actually entered it, at which point he got very hectic, nervous, and, pointed, wandered us.
Because we brought the
Yes,
corpse drunk.
yeah, here's the dead body of one of your friends. Very tactful.
And you're next.
Well, I explained him the situation, then he urged us to follow him to what I'm assuming is his emergency escape route.
So he had loaded you up into his capsule and pressed a few buttons, and you guys launched off into the underground reservoirs.
And on the long trip underwater, we gained a level.
You did.
Hey.
Did.
I'm wondering-
And
I'm
today,
wondering if this is just something that the Ferris has, or if it's just a general thing for the gnomes in case there's an emergency, like,
well, you can certainly ask him. I'm going to say that the capsule's actually just pulling up to the city now. It doesn't look super big. It's got a few big buildings in it.
Is the city underwater?
It is. It's got
Like-
a big dome over it,
Okay.
made out of a clear material.
What does the building look like?
So it's a good thing you asked, because let's pull up some handy dandy art.
Well, that's a pretty
So that
good
dome
answer.
is roughly what the city looks like, although it's a lot smaller and has a lot fewer buildings, but that's kind of the aesthetic that we're going for.
Okay.
Were you intending to show us a picture of like the mechs down at the bottom left?
Yes. So the mech in the bottom left is actually Doc, but you notice that when the capsule pulls up into the hangar, there are two more robots that look exactly like him, waiting outside. And that picture at the bottom, the mech isn't actually relevant, but the picture of the gnome is, because that's what Farron's looks like.
Yeah.
And this on the right is a full map of the underwater city.
So I'm guessing there's like a second dome right next to it with the coral garden in it.
No, actually, that's completely outside, and there
Huh.
seems to be a walking path out there. But he ushers you all quickly inside, and follow me.
Okay, we'll follow you. Haven't heard of this city before. What's its name?
There's a reason. I've made it myself. It's I've called it Miridia, but that's just me. We're heading over to the tavern over there, and he leads you all hurriedly across the park in the center. The two golems that were kind of standing guard at the hangar stay put. And he walks up to the tavern and he opens up the door, and this is a nice looking tavern. It's completely empty. There's nobody else here. But this is a very, very like opulent looking tavern, and he gestures at the bar, and there's a bunch of seats there, and he goes behind the bar himself and begins pouring some drinks. Says, "I believe we have a lot to discuss."
Yeah. That's
I will. How about this? We will go back and forth with questions, because I imagine we both have several. My first question to you all: who is the person that is following you? What can you tell me about this person who's trying to collect these artifacts?
Oh, that
He's a
person
wizard?
pulling us.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask which one you were talking about.
I'm talking
Nah,
about the one that you referenced before I brought you down here.
Yeah.
we don't know
um,
much about him other than that he's a necromancer, judging by his spell book, which we looted from his hotel room, and that it seems to be trying to harness these artifacts for, unlimited power, whatever these wizards are up to.
Yeah, Velmer, would you mind just giving this man just a quick look through at his book? Maybe he would
course.
know anything about him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you hand over the spell book, and he opens it up and flips through. It's like,
It's got his name written in it.
this is intense. Oh, that's right. It does have the name written on it. He flips through the spells for a while, and he says, this is clearly a strong necromancer. And then he flips around and he sees the name in the front. And he's like, you boys don't pay much attention to current events, do you?
I'm afraid not.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
not really.
Okay. Oh boy. And he closes the spellbook and puts it back on the counter. And says, okay, so about 15 years ago, I believe, might have been a bit longer. There was a big assault on the western city of Hog.
Mhm.
Haug. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. It's a dwarven name. Anyways, great western city of Haug, out in the desert. It was being attacked by a massive horde of undead. And it was led by this necromancer in his ghost ship flying above.
Mhm.
I believe that you are dealing with the same person. He was stopped ultimately before the city was completely destroyed. In fact, it's mostly recovered at this point. But that's an important piece of history. I'm surprised that none of you managed to remember that. But anyways,
I'm surprised that you didn't use the Flying Dutchman as his picture. From SpongeBob. That Flying Dutchman, because
well, look, boys, this is how we're dealing with a very powerful necromancer here, and if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I'm not entirely sure what to do about this. But we will worry about that later. Ask a question, I will answer.
How long did it take to build this place?
Really, that's your okay?
My question-
It took me probably about 30 years.
Huh.
I worked very hard on this. You know how many conjuration spells it takes to put together a city like this?
Probably a lot.
Yes. A lot is a sufficient description of how much magic is. All right. Another question from me. Why did Bakerton wake up? Does this pirate necromancer steal his necklace?
Yep.
Yes.
And then we kind of annoyed him apparently when we raided his lair. Well, not so much raided, but tried to save some damsel that he had in his custody. Let's say.
He thought she had taken his amulet. When it got found out that A, she had, and B, she had no idea what I was talking about. He just let her go.
Bickerton is a genius, but he's also a complete dolt. All right. Ask me another question.
To be fair, he was just recently reawoken as an undead, so I can understand he was a bit confused.
So
I suppose
next
you got me
question.
there. I have not been resurrected before, so I'll leave that knowledge to people of more experience than myself.
Next question. Can you fix Doc? Because that's kind of why I never wanted to bring him here.
Absolutely. I'm very upset to see that he's deactivated, because that brings me to my next question. Did he just take a lot of structural damage? It doesn't look like it. I'm guessing this means that Sonitri's passed.
We
Yeah.
found him this way, basically.
Oh
Like
no.
the wizard headed for where Sonitri has been living apparently, and we can make a good guess as to what happened.
A necromancer of this strength, I'm not surprised was able to down Sonitri. I will truly miss her. That's heartbreaking. I didn't talk with her enough, really. I should have sent more letters. Anyways, Yes, I can bring Doc back. I need to link him to somebody else's life force, though. The reason I didn't do it to my own at the time was I hadn't quite gotten myself, well, for lack of a better term, immortal at that point. I hadn't secured my longevity. However, I could link it to myself now if you'd like. If one of you is immortal and willing, I suppose that I could also link his life with yours as well.
Now, out of character, Terran's Relgil is the only character who doesn't get some sort of assistant character unit, whatever, like Velma's sword or pineapple.
As far as apps go, my character's
Very short-lived, yeah. So not so good.
actually, kobolds live about as long as humans.
Which is short-lived in the great deal of things.
Hilariously, if the 3.5 feet dragon rot still existed, those kobolds actually live. A dragon rot kobold lives for, I think, after venerable, you add like D100s or something like that, like a 1d6 times 100.
That sounds balanced. I love it.
I mean, long age. How often does that ever come up in actual gameplay?
Not terribly often. All right.
Yeah.
So basically, he's offering to resurrect Doc with a connection to one of your lives instead of his own, if you're so inclined.
I'm gonna say it. Okay, again, he's your friend. If you and you're immortal, if you think you can, stay alive with him, link it to your own.
Well, that's how I see things as well, but admittedly, I don't know you all terribly well, and I just wanted to put out a little test to see if there was a better option that you were all aware of. But I can just link him back to my life, yes.
It's just that looking at this rationally, you're probably going to be the last one of us to die.
He gives kind of a nervous chuckle. He says, well, I certainly worked for that honor, so... Very well. We will deal with this in a ritual later. It'll take a couple hours, but it shouldn't be too costly. It should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we theoretically try to link it to Velma, would it work? I mean, he's kind of sort of undead, just out of character. Since in character we don't know that he's undead.
It should work.
It should work because he's only like half undead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of skirting the line. It might have some weird side effects, but as far as you know, based on your knowledge of the arcane arts, it should probably work.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, I believe this means that you get the next question.
Wait a second. Out of character, Eidolons don't age, though, right?
No, but their vanishing out of existence on this plane might have some effect on the spell.
Dang. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So out of character, when we got here, like, about how big is this? Like, I see a few buildings.
These are pretty big buildings.
So it's a population of, like, how many?
You could probably comfortably fit a population of 40 people here.
Okay. Because, I mean, if no one else picks up, I'm just kind of legit curious. So you build the city on your own.
On rock and roll.
Who are the people whom you have invited to live here?
Oh, I have lots of friends back up in Orna, and when friends from all over come to visit or otherwise come for certain social engagements that I like to hold, then I will host them here. It's very exclusive. Very few people know of the existence of this place.
So, but you have a siege ball arena.
Yes, I do.
But like, you never have like any visiting teams or anything. It's just, I guess, for local things.
It's for local things. Sometimes it's used for stage if I bring some performers in. It's a very multi-purpose arena. It's just Siege Bell Arena first and foremost. I'm quite a fan. Additionally, the robots that I have down here are actually programmed to be a Siege Ball team of their own. And sometimes I will bring down another Siege Ball team to go up against.
I'm sad that I'll never see this from my own eyes.
I suppose that's your next question. So, mine. Where did you find Doc?
He
On
had
on the islands on the east, he kind of just walked there and deactivated on his own.
Mhm.
I mean, I think we established how he deactivated, but he's on the Ring Isles?
Yeah,
Well-
on Bloodsworth Isle, I think was the name.
Bloodsworth Island. Okay, I'm aware
The
that
artifact
there's...
kind of started leaking the box of what was it called again?
the sugar machine.
Yeah,
Bickerton's
the entire thing
blasted
in.
contraption.
Like, for what it's worth, he was well known by the Mages College at Riddleport. So, it doesn't make no sense that he was hanging out there.
I have no doubt. I really probably should have kept better tabs on my friends, is really what it comes down to. I had not spoken to Doc in quite some time either. I'd spoken to him a little more recently than Sunitri, but he's always on his feet and moving around. It's hard to really understand where he is at any given time. A bit of a pain to track.
All
Right.
things considered, the island wasn't such a bad spot for him to deactivate because if he hadn't gone there, the sugar machine could have caused a lot more damage.
Honestly, I'm starting to think he knew this was gonna happen. That was done on
Yeah.
purpose.
That's an intriguing theory. I mean, I suppose we won't know for sure until we reactivate him. But
He
anyways, I
did-
believe it's your turn for question.
Will
Who has
he
had a
regain all his memories when you reactivate him?
So at this point, he's finished making super fancy cocktails in all of these glasses that he's pulled out in front of you. They've all got like little paper umbrellas and stuff in them. These look really nice. And he passes them all out in front of you. And then he holds a glass up and says, "Cheers,"
Cheers.
before
Cheers.
immediately downing the entire glass. Then he puts it back down.
Well, like,
Says,
do as
I
you know.
imagine that all of Doc's memories will be retained. I don't expect that he will lose much, if he loses anything at all. Really, we can't know for sure until we wake him up. Again, this is mostly untrodden ground. It's not every day that we're able to get a golem to have sentience, much less bring it back to sentience. But I suspect that it will have its memories intact. Its personality, however, its personality was heavily influenced by Sonitri. If we tie it back to me, then personality-wise, it will probably be closer to me than Sonitri. It will be interesting. It'll be like my friend has changed a lot. It will be hard, but it'll be good to have him back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my next question for you all: what qualifications did you have that Bakerton chose you?
Pure luck. We
We were there.
Yeah, we were asked to save this priestess from him, and when we showed up there, he kind of explained the situation to us.
It was mostly just, I think, based on the fact that we had the magic sword.
Yeah, Leon's sword.
Leon's sword. You have Leon's sword on you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet you won't recognize it anymore. I pull Hank out.
That's unusual.
Yeah, I don't quite
what?
know what happened, but it.
I could
kind
cast
of-
detect magic, but you could also just tell me what on earth this sword is now.
It apparently gained sentience.
Yeah,
Sentience.
yeah. I can
that's-
communicate telepathically with it.
He's gonna roll some knowledge arcana, see if he understands what a Bladebound Magus is.
Well, otherwise, Bakerton did mention the Bladebound thing.
Well, if he might have rolled better, so. Yeah, he actually rolled kind of garbage. I've never seen such a thing before. Just a weapon gaining sentience out of seemingly nowhere. I mean,
But I did mention for him that Bakerton mentioned that it was some kind of Bladebound thing. Where it just spontaneously just shows up or takes over an item.
Bakerton was always more knowledgeable in the offensive magics than myself. I've always been much more interested in creation than destruction.
All things considered, I'm less surprised that it turned sentient and more surprised it didn't turn into a candy cane.
At that, he gives a bit of a chuckle. That would be much more Bakerton style, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe you're next for questions.
Okay, so the wizard, the necromancer, is roughly aware where you are. He's been up in the market square. So, what are our escape options from this place? If should he manage to find and enter the shop?
Our escape options. This place is very sturdy, and barely anybody knows it exists. It's probably less than 3 dozen people who understand that this place is even here. However, as for escape options, the hangar has multiple escape pods, very similar to ones that we came in on. Additionally, there are also suits for outdoor traversal there. So basically underwater breathing suits.
That's how you get to that garden.
Yes, as a matter of fact, my coral garden I maintain meticulously. I'm very proud of it. It's gorgeous, if I do say so myself. Now, those are our best escape options, but I very highly doubt that this place could be destroyed terribly easily. The barrier that you see above you that holds the water at bay is unbelievably strong.
I'm less concerned about it being destroyed. I'm more concerned about the guy finding the entrance in the shop and actually coming down here.
Well, the pod that's normally in my shop is down here right now, so you have no need to worry.
But if he's as powerful,
He's a wizard.
Yes, he's a wizard, but I can look through his spell book, and I'm pretty sure there's nothing he can do to get down here.
Mm-hmm.
Fair point.
He only has one teleportation spell. He's only got Dimension Door. We have nothing to fear, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm certain that we are safe down here. That's not something that I'm concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I am concerned about is how many of the artifacts you all have recovered to this point. Have you spoken with Leon?
Yes.
Yeah. We actually we went up to his castle, disarmed most of the traps, and took the artifact, and brought down his magic mirror friend.
Leon himself is in jail.
Yes, I'm well familiar with that. Leon made some slip-ups a while back. He's still paying for them. He's much more patient of a man than myself.
Basically, of the 5 treasures, we have 3 with one of them on us, the other 2 back with Biggertons, and we assume that the wizard has the other 2.
Which artifact do you have on you at this time?
The bag of ingredients.
All right, that's one of the less harmful ones.
We figured we should, that, and if we were going to split up the artifacts, we didn't want to risk carrying them both around. We figured we might as well use the one that we could actually use.
Mm-hmm. It's been very useful for provisions and that sort of stuff.
Very well. Your turn?
Actually, I'm just curious how we're going to get. How are we going to get that the remaining artifacts from that wizard, the necromancer's control?
Well, we know where he is. We could theoretically try to mug him, but no, I wouldn't risk it.
No, that's far too dangerous at this point. For now, what we are going to do is I'm going to start formulating a plan using my magical capabilities, which I assume far exceed yours.
Is that plan
not to be rude?
How to secure the artifacts that we have with us right now?
Yes,
because that was going to be my next question.
We are going to get those artifacts back from Zrydan. They have no business in his. Now, what I also recommend you all do while you're down here is train. And realistically, I should myself as well. Again, combat is not a strong suit of mine. It's not something I do terribly often. In fact, I hate to say this, but I'm meaning to borrow that spellbook of Zrydan's and copy some into my own.
Feel free to. I have already copied everything relevant.
Oh, well, excellent. Then if you don't mind me taking Zrydan's spellbook, for the time being at least.
Yeah, it's
No.
fine.
You're welcome to the spell book.
Additionally, here, all of you wear these, and he pulls out a bunch of like pins, like brooches, from this drawer, underneath the bar. Says these are all anti-scrying brooches. You wear these, and even if he tries to scry you, it'll just get redirected somewhere else.
Well,
Oh,
that's good to know. But
I want to make sure that he has no idea that we're down.
well, I'm gonna put mine on immediately.
And sure enough, he actually pulls back his vest a little bit, and you see that there's one on him.
Oh, but I'm just quickly. Nah, I'm not gonna use detect magic on Colleen. That would be a dick move. Detect evil, I mean.
So he also says, I guess while we're down here as well, I've got. So my shop is mostly full of useless magical items, just to clutter up the detection of magic. But I've got some backup items in a storehouse. Some of them are useless, but some of them are old magical items from when my store actually held useful magical items. It ended up being a lot cheaper to simply fill the store with garbage. So
and probably you made most of that garbage in the store.
oh, absolutely. No, I had some fun coming up with particular amounts of garbage. So if we head on over to my main offices, there's actually a room. There's a hallway full of storage rooms, and you want storage room 112,
Mm-hmm.
and that should have all the useful magical items. I'm going to head off to my office. Oh, actually, no. I should bring Doc. So I'm afraid that you have me at a disadvantage. I don't have any of your names.
Railgil Shotchi.
Call me
Right.
Don.
Don,
Velmir.
Velmir,
Nava.
Nava. All right.
Yeah.
Nava, you're the one who seems to be somehow carrying Doc. I presume that you have some sort of strength bonus of some
Yeah, I
sort.
got a belt going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have a heavy load belt. Oh, that's delightful. Okay. Yes, you come with me. I just need you to drop the stuff off. Drop off the golem in my office. I will get to. I will get to the ritual right away. I will be absolutely delighted to see Doc again. In the
Sounds good.
meantime, all of you head off to storage room 112, and that's where all of the most useful magical items here will be.
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right. So he heads on up to the offices and storage building, and he leads you, Nav, up a massive staircase. And he gestures down another hallway for everybody else. And sure enough, there's a whole bunch of numbered storage rooms. And
Can
when
you hear me?
Now I
Yeah.
can.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Uh-huh.
and when you open up the door to storage room 112, you actually see that list of conspicuous magic items.
Mm-hmm. Well, again,
So-
I'm gonna grab the van braces quickly. The ones that, the ones that add +1 to
Yeah,
+1
yeah.
deflection.
I remember. I'm gonna post them all in chat again, just so nobody needs to scroll up.
Yeah, we all kind of decided ahead of time
So,
what we were
okay.
interested
So
in.
you've got all of your equipment.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you just get all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was gonna take the ring.
Yeah, so you drop off the golem in Farron's room, and he says, "Yeah, please just make yourself at home in Miridia for the time being. I'll be right here for the next few hours."
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so we get all of this stuff to the device?
You get all of this stuff.
Oh,
Well then.
Oh. I thought we were only getting one of the items.
You're getting all of this stuff.
He's more
okay.
generous than a dragon.
I guess no. I was gonna say I'd call dibs on the belt as well, but hey, never mind.
I mean,
So,
the
what
belt
do you
is
guys
such an
do during?
all-around item. That's good for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's all right, I also get the crown of swords. Because I am usually in the middle of things.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I just wanted the. I've already got the I was torn between the van braces and the belt because one makes me a little harder to hit, the other makes it so I survive a hit a little better.
Yeah, surviving hits is not in general Railgill's strong suit.
No, I've got 30 health at level 5.
Well, with that equipped, you have 35 health.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So.
I guess since I'm the one most likely to be flying, I should take the air stuff.
I really just need the monocle, so
Alright, so I'm taking the ball of air and the wind.
Velmir should take the pearl. He's the only one who can use it right now.
What was it that did now again?
You regain one second level spell slot after using it.
All right.
So it's only if you've already prepared that spell early. So you get to recover that exact spell slot again.
I can't remember.
It's exactly like spell recall, except I don't spend the arcane points on it.
Yep.
I can't remember. Is the pearl power a one-time use item, or is it
It's a once-a-day item.
Oh. Okay. So yeah. That would be good for him. Means he can use a powerful spell again.
I remember you guys were talking about giving the Ring of Sacred Mistletoe to Khalid.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
that leaves the crown and the bottle of air, or which did never take.
Yeah, I'll take it, I guess.
Who takes the crown?
I take it.
Yeah, it makes sense for him because he's the melee person, really.
Who ended up with the Magnetist glove?
I
Also
me too.
Velma.
Okay. Cool.
Gets 3 items. Like
Get
you
over
said.
here.
All right. So you guys got all your fancy new magic items. What are you gonna do in the time that he's up in his office?
Well,
I'm
actually,
gonna-
since before I have the Death Watch eyes, what do they say about Mr. Gnome?
They showed him as a very vibrant living shade. He's definitely alive.
Very alive.
He didn't pull any necromancy shenanigans. He's definitely alive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pray to Shibe to grant me the ability to fight off the undead. Basically explaining why I've got suddenly more usage of channel energy.
All right. Does anybody else want to do anything? Maybe explore the city, check out the coral garden. go on the
Probably.
viewing deck?
I'll check out the coral garden.
All right. So sure enough, you head on over to the hangar, and the two golems that are guarding the hangar kind of are just staring at you as you enter, and you see a bunch of different sized underwater suits that look like they should allow you to breathe underwater. And you manage to find one of your size, and you slip it on, and you head off to Coral Garden.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nice airlock or water lock.
Mm-hmm.
Airlock. It's still an airlock. That lets you outside, and sure enough, you see the vast expanse of this water stretching out in so many directions. But there's this big old mountain of coral, basically, that you see, and it's absolutely vibrant and gorgeous. It's got all sorts of coloring and has a massive variety of life. Sure enough, it does seem very well cared for.
Spend a
Now-
bit of time.
Roll me a perception check, actually, while you're out there.
Okay.
Okay, you actually, even through the suit and through the water, you managed to hear something. It sounded like a big rippling. And it came off in the distance. You're not quite sure what it was.
Well, I'm going to go and, being properly paranoid, I'm going to head back through the hangar and rush back to the hangar and try and let what's the gnome's name again?
Farron's.
Farron's know about that.
All right.
There's a very big something very big coming.
All right, so you kind of bolt up to his office, and you see him sitting in a chair, like reading over a spell book with his wand out, pointed at Doc. He's like chanting stuff, and he looks up and he says, "Yes, what is it?"
I'm not sure if I'm just being overly paranoid, but I went out to the Coral Garden, and even through the suit, I heard something big rippling through the water towards.
Oh yes, that's a local Kraken. He usually leaves us alone.
Okay. Sorry, I was just being properly paranoid.
No, that's perfectly fine. A Kraken is usually nothing to sneeze at, but this one has left us alone, and has been a resident here for quite some time. Another reason why this place is unbeknownst to most. Nobody wants to be dealing with a Kraken.
Okay, I'm sorry for disturbing you.
You're perfectly fine. By the way, please do not head too far out from the city. I have an alarm spell set there, and it'll set off some bells. We don't want anybody getting in unbeknownst.
No, I just went to the Coral Garden and heard that sound. But okay, good luck on resurrecting Doc.
Thank you. Enjoy those magical items.
And I'll head back down and explore the city, explore this little mini city some more. But...
All right. So some time passes. So you guys are kind of getting acquainted to there around you. Do you guys like do any testing out of any of your new items or do anything fun with them?
Well, I've been wondering if there's anything we need anywhere since we got a ring of teleportation.
Well, all that to do is go back to a place you've already been recently.
Yeah, but has there been anywhere we've been to that there's any
I think
left?
It's it's limited to 100 feet. It's
And it has to be somewhere you have been after wearing the ring because you have to like attune to that spot.
It's like a mark and recall, basically.
Yeah.
It's like mark and recall in Morrowind. Only you get to mark 3 places a day.
It's Ferorous Wind.
If you want to use the
Because I've been looking at the Ring of Teleport, and it said it was like the teleport spell, which is different. So I guess it might just have another name then.
Well,
so basically, when you went into the storage room, all of these magical items were actually labeled. So that's kind of how you know what all of these. They have little labels on them. So sure enough, you guys don't think you've ever run into anything like a ring teleportation.
Oh, so
Like what they're describing is a ring of return.
So the name is intentional, not a mistake.
Again, does it work like a teleport spell, or did you accidentally label the ring of return something else?
Oh, Sterling, the DM, made no errors in my.
So it basically allows him to use the teleport spell.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
Well, you could ask.
Yeah.
Or, detect magic and spellcraft.
I'm going to try and spellcraft it first, because I want to roll something. Alright, +10. Wow.
It's a magic ring, all right.
Yeah, I'll ask for clarification then.
All right, so you go up to his office, and you actually, when you enter the office, you actually see Doc kind of twitching a little bit, like the joints and stuff. And here the Farron's looks up at you. Says, hi. Is there something I can help you with?
There's just confusion with the labeling in your things. Were just because the ring you have given us has been labeled Ring of Teleportation, which is not an official term.
Ring of Teleportation, was that in room 112?
Can you repeat that?
That was in room 112?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, that's very funny. That's a mistake on my part. Here, try using it.
It's kind of scary to use that kind of thing.
I promise you, it's perfectly fine.
All right, where do you want me to try to go?
Just go back to the main courtyard or something.
All right. Well, I trust you, so yeah, I'll activate it.
All right, the ring vanishes off your finger. That should have been in room 111. That's where my less than useful items are. I apologize for that.
I'm now imagining that Don was in the courtyard and suddenly the ring appears in front of him. My prayers have been heard.
Exactly.
Well, that explains that.
I mean, if you'd like to dig your way through my less than useful items, you're more than welcome to. You might find something that's somewhat useful. I wouldn't put any money on that.
I could see some use with something like that, just a ring that you can teleport somewhere as a distraction.
If you can like tie something to the ring that counts as part of the ring, you can bring something sat somewhere that can be used. Actually.
Now, if you'd like to take a look around, you can go to room 111. That's just right next door to the
I
storage room that
will if it says I can.
Absolutely, go for it.
Yeah, so I am looking there.
All right. So you head into room 111, and you see a book. You see a couple of potions. You see a bag. You see a torch. You see like a deck of playing cards. You see just a spoon. You see a treasure chest. You see a book. You see actually a suit of armor, interestingly enough. And you also see a blanket crumpled up in the corner. And you see another ring, if I didn't say that already.
I have to assume that each and every one of these things probably some kind of prank.
You also actually see a pair of glasses as well.
So if it looks useful, it probably isn't.
Well, are they labeled?
They are labeled. So, one is labeled the Ring of Pointing. That's the ring. That's there. The book you see is labeled the Tome of Infinite Knock Knock Jokes. You see that there's one labeled Grog of Substantial Whimsy. You see that there's a rock labeled the Stone of Discomfort. There's a pair of glasses called the Glasses of Hindsight. The suit of armor is actually labeled as anti-sword armor. You see the torch is labeled the Torch of Night Vision.
I'm guessing that the... Oh, you mean they're not actually magic? Okay, I get the joke, yeah.
The potion, there's another potion that's labeled Potion of Hydration.
Water.
Yeah.
There's a blanket that's labeled the Tent of Urban Survival. There is a little bag that's labeled as the Purse of Holding. There's just a mug that's labeled as an anti-spill mug. The treasure chest is labeled the passcode chest, and underneath it says in parentheses, "It's locked." You see a label, but you don't see what's actually there until you take a closer look. And there's a very thin string, and this label says the 6-inch string of invulnerability. There is a deck of cards that's labeled the Deck of Many Twos. You see the spoon is labeled as a lichen fork. And there's a rod that's labeled the Rod of Turning.
I mean, you joke, but an invincible string could legit be very useful since it implies it can hold any weight. It won't
I think
break.
this might be an Empress New Clothes thing.
Well, it doesn't.
I
how?
mean, the Book of Infinite Knock Knock Jokes or the Grog of Whimsy could be funny.
They could
by the way,
help
the
out
Tome of-
Don's comedian career.
Actually, the Tome of Infinite Knock Knock Jokes, I'm just going to tell you guys now, does provide a +1 to perform comedy.
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm just gonna come in and gonna shout, "Hey, guess what? She messed up my prayers and rewarded me with this ring, which came out of nowhere."
I'm not
Good for
going to
you.
tell where that ring is from. You can keep it.
So here, let me actually send you guys a list of all these items with just the names. The thing is that the list that I have here is kind of messy for copy pasting, so give me a sec.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're interested in any of them, you can tinker with them.
I'm picking this ring because at some point, like an invincible anything can be useful.
All right, you have the 6-inch string of invulnerability.
That is a bad pun, Duker.
What?
In Pathfinder in the Discord chat.
I don't see what the pun is.
That was Weimar.
Huh?
I assume you're talking about Weimar.
No, Duker made a post list, and I quote, "I wonder if he ever had the opportunity to release the Kraken."
There's a
Yeah,
pun.
it's a joke,
There's
but
a
not a pun, I think.
Or
It's a reference from Brawl in the Family.
I got the reference. It's a terrible reference.
It's the best reference. How do you do?
Fine, how do you do?
Slam.
I'm almost there, guys. Don't worry.
No,
I'm just trying to think if there's anything at all that we can really do.
oh well, raocow, you have at least one Twitch follower now.
There you go. That is the full list of items that are labeled in this room.
Wait, so the lick and fork is a fork that turns into a spoon. Or what?
You just know that it's a spoon that's labeled the lichen for.
Okay.
Well, might as well go in and.
I bet it turns into a fork under the full moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bunch that I want to ask him about what they really do.
Basket chest was what? Lock as a passcode, wasn't it? Didn't you say?
Yeah, it's
The
locked.
passcode checked has the words "it's locked" in parentheses under it on the wall.
Ah, yeah, it's locked. I see. Yeah, that's the passcode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go look over there as well when I see all of them gathering over there.
Yeah.
Might as well. I mean, I suppose we could just test some of them out. I gently swing my sword at the anti-sword armor, or my wakizashi.
Your sword goes right through. The armor is undamaged.
Ah.
I lightly punch the armor.
Your fist just goes right
Yeah.
through.
The armor is untouchable, literally.
It provides no protection, but it will be perfectly shiny, no matter what.
It will look impressive. Until you get
So,
stabbed.
as you guys are kind of laughing it up in this room of random, basically gag items, you actually hear some very heavy footsteps coming down the hall.
It's
And
probably not.
Yep.
sure enough, poking his head in is one of the robots. It looks mostly distinct from the other robots because it actually has its chest compartment outline that you can see. The other ones you're not sure have a chest compartment.
Mm-hmm.
But He kind of looks you up and down, says, "Hello. I was told that you were the ones who rescued me."
Hi, Doc.
Yes, we did rescue you, Doc.
So how's it feeling?
It's unusual. I don't feel myself. I feel like part of me is missing. Who are you all?
Um,
Artifact enthusiasts?
we're
Well, I suppose you're in the correct location for that.
we're if Farron's didn't tell you, we're sent by Bakerton to recover as many of his 5 artifacts as we could.
I was told that collecting mine was a bit of a hassle.
It just involved we did have to end up killing a dragon made out of candy that was confused about being made out of candy.
This does sound like Bakerton's work. I kept the sugar machine in my chest for many years, and I suppose only my deactivation could have truly let it free.
Mm-hmm.
You did good
apologize
going
for
to an
that.
island because the box kind of went out of control after
Yeah,
you.
like that kind of makes me like. How much do you remember?
I remember reaching Bloodsworth Island.
Hmm.
I believe I was simply looking for dragons to speak to. I've always been fascinated by larger magical creatures.
Well, we found the dragon and we kind of saved it by deactivating the box. So we've kind of got so it's kind of on good terms with us.
That is good news. I would have hated to have angered such a wonderful beast.
Although I'm suspecting that the dragon, whatever that candy, was making candy creatures out of with candy creatures or something like that had the minds of actual creatures that had coded or something like that on the island.
I have used the sugar machine very little as its guardian. I have very little use for it. I suspect that whatever powers Bakerton has bestowed upon it have mostly gone unnoticed by myself.
Mhm.
Although I am familiar with the basic working of his artifacts, which is the root of the problem as we see it now. The artifacts, of course, draw on the life force of creatures around them, just ever so slightly, in order to function.
So if the farm now out of character, if the farm didn't have an anti-magic field, the artifact would have deactivated on its own because everything would have been dead.
If everything was truly out of energy on the island, then the artifact would have theoretically deactivate. Yes.
But the dragon was not of energy, so it was still activated.
Oh,
Dragons are very powerful beasts.
Yeah, so so that might have been it.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot thank you enough for my rescue. I hope that I may be able to be of assistance to you for the continuation of your journey.
Do you have any ideas on how we could capture a wizard?
Well, I suspect that the next step will be to find him. I doubt that he will be in Arna for much longer. With the help of Farron's, we should be able to scry his location. It should be rather simple with a personal belonging of his, like the book I've been informed you all collected.
I wonder.
I mean, logically, he's heading towards the artifact. So either he's heading back towards Bagerton, or he detects us and goes to us.
But he can't detect us, so he
Not-
either goes to Bakerton or he will go to Riddleport.
Mm-hmm.
Riddleport seems most likely, to be honest.
Mhm.
Why would he go to Railport though?
It's
He
he
does-
doesn't know that we've been there, and he
That's
knows
true.
that Doc has been in the area.
Mhm.
And the other place where Leon lives, I forget the name, is a bit further. It's on the other side of Friddleport anyway. So.
Yeah, no, yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
Mhm.
So we're returning to Railport.
I
Oh,
implore
dear.
you to wait for scrying information.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
Yeah.
certain that Ferens can assist you further in this matter.
Just
Mhm.
idle speculation.
I do not know personally where this necromancer may be hiding out. I'm unfamiliar other than simply the news reports of his invasion of Hog.
Well, Daventry's been sitting in an inn, so I would imagine that he does take lodgings like a regular person from time to time.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm not suggesting to go around checking every hotel in town. That'd be kind of silly.
Uh.
I don't suppose we know if he carries still stuff with him. Because that's how we found him the first time.
You think he has a hiding spot where he left his
Mhm.
the stuff and amulet?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming he's not carrying both with him for the same reason we don't carry everything with us.
Mhm.
Actually, I think Hank said he had both.
Oh.
Oh yeah, right.
And I asked Hank to verify if I remember right.
He kind of wakes up a little bit in a bit of a start. It seems like he was doing the closest thing to sleeping that a magical artifact can do. He goes, oh yes, I'm sorry, sir. Well, what was the question?
Did the pirate wizard carry both the artifacts on him, or just one?
Yes, he had both of them on his person.
Yep, he had both.
Okay.
One thing that you may want to consider is possibly he does not understand that you are after him, in a sense.
Mhm.
Well, we've been chasing him through half of Daventry, but haven't seen him since. Well, he hasn't seen us since. Yes, yeah, makes sense.
Mhm. He might not. He might not even know that we've met Bakerton, or that Bakerton woke up.
But he probably remembers us. We killed his bird.
Yeah, he definitely knows that we were looking for his amulet. That's right.
Yeah.
So he might be suspecting that we are after him, but not necessarily that we are in the area.
Mhm. I mean, wonder if Ferens can send a message spell. I forgot how far a message spell can go.
Thinking about it, he's a wizard, so that means he's intelligent, like by definition. And
Sending can go really far, I think. Let me check.
he knows that we've been looking for the amulet. He hasn't seen us in weeks, and he knows that there are and he knows that we have a map with locations of the artifacts on the east half of the continent. So it's quite makes sense that he would assume that we would have gone in that direction.
I mean, if you want to send a message, sending is anywhere in the same plane.
Mm-hmm.
That should be good enough.
Oh, I was just gonna. I was just going to. I was just gonna ask. I'll see if Ferens has it. For reasons. I want to contact. Make a contact someone. Yeah.
I believe Ferens is up in his office still.
Yeah. So I'm going to go. Have fun with these items. I'm gonna be back soon. And I'm gonna head towards Ferens.
All right. So you head up towards Ferens, and yeah, sure enough, he's actually in his office. He's got a big pool of water, and he seems to be working on a little bit of a ritual right now. Hello, Ralgo. What can I assist you with?
I was just wondering if you can use the if you have any spells to contact someone far away or whatever. Send a
Yes. Probably the best way. So I have two ways to contact somebody anywhere. Those two means are scrying and using a message spell through that. And then alternatively, which is probably a little quicker, although requires them to be asleep or requires them to it requires you to wait until they are awake again after sleep, is I've got a spell called Dream where I can send somebody a message in a dream. Other than that, I don't really have much that can reach outside this bubble. Not terribly far anyway. Maybe back up to Arna.
Okay.
Does the skeleton dream?
It was just, oh no, I wasn't sending anything. I wasn't going to send this to Bakerton. I was going to send it to I was going to send a message. You guys all talking about that made up, and I was going reminded me of something, and I was going to send a message to Demert Evil Crusher.
Demert Evil Crusher. Very well. It's probably a lot faster for me to simply cast Dream on you, and then you can send the message.
Oh, I kind of I kind of have some pull with that noble family and that sort of stuff. Evil Crusher family. I'm kind of an adopted son.
I mean, I certainly don't care. I imagine that you want to send people messages as long as you don't tell them exactly where we are. That's really the only.
I was just going to send him a message to keep. I was just going to send him a message to keep a lookout for the Necromancer if he shows up in Daventry.
Absolutely. We can send probably a dream message would be perfectly fine for that then. You seem not terribly pleased by that option. I don't have a lot in terms of very long range messaging capability.
Yeah. Oh no, that should work if and when it does. So it'll just be interesting. Haven't spoken with him for a bit, not since we left Daventry.
Very well. Okay. Hold on. And he spends a few seconds casting a quick spell and pokes you on the shoulder and says, "All right. Now you should be able to send him a message in his dreams, and he'll receive it in his neck."
Okay.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my scrying ritual.
Uh-huh.
So what is the message you send?
I was just gonna basically send him a message asking him to look out for the Necromancer. The Necromancer. Something like that, saying he's got some. He's not a very nice person. He's the attacked hog and that sort of stuff. And there's a good chance he'll be heading back up to Daventry, possibly.
In a dream, can you send like video or image components?
Let me see. Message can be of any length, and the recipient remembers it perfectly upon waking. You appear in the creature's dream, so it is you actually that they see. So you can give like hand gestures and interpretive dance or what have you.
But like you can't like.
What about
mold the
objects?
dream?
What about objects that you have on person?
Yeah, you can use props.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then I could draw something up, maybe.
So they would have an actual picture to refer to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, sure, that works. Sure, that works.
Because in 5e, Dream lets you actually manipulate the actual dream itself, so you can create images and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was part of Dream Pathfinder, but it's not.
Because, I suppose I'll actually try and scribble something up, and I'm not sure.
I can draw people if that's what you need.
Yeah, but my character's again, he's not wanting to very much lampshade the fact that he's got resources. I mean, your character's hiding the fact he's a one of your Someone's character citing the fact.
Velma.
Velma, you're citing the fact he's a vampire. What? Okay. Now
Oh, yeah,
everyone.
I figured that wasn't character very much. That like he's not telling us that he's doing this.
I think Nava. No, I think Dawn is the only character who has nothing to hide, and Colleen, she's quite open about being
She's open.
who she is.
Although actually, I suppose I'll ask him if he's got a picture of if he can draw up a picture of the wizard, and I'll try to drop a picture as well. You know, that person that offered. I'll try and draw up a picture as well.
Oh, well.
For reasons, in case we need to sort of stuff. Oh, you've actually got crap. Oh, you've actually got crap.
Yeah, no, that is a spot on picture that you just drew. It's looking great. Like you got the shading just right. Got in just how sunken in his eyes are and stuff. It's great.
Every single strand of his beard hair.
Well, thanks for trying that. We can use that. We can use that to for gathering information, that sort of stuff purposes.
Oh, well, glad to help.
But I'm gonna borrow that for a minute. I'm gonna borrow that for. I'll keep hold of it.
While you're going to bed, keep it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna question it.
So, I'll probably use the sketch and that sort of stuff to, basically, again, tell Demert or whatever, something like that, a little bit, basically, that he's not a very good person, and to keep an eye out for him in, Daventry, well, showing that sort of stuff, and he's a necromancer who kind of attacked Hog with a lot of undead about 15 years ago.
All right. Message sent. And then by the time you're done all that, the Ferens himself actually walks back downstairs to see all you guys, who I imagine are still tinkering around with all these miscellaneous items.
Yeah, I want to put on the glasses of hindsight.
All right, you put on the glass of hindsight. And man, just things that already happened, you remember very well.
That could actually be useful.
You know how I do that knowledge 5 minutes ago check thing?
Ah.
Well, if you need to do that, the glass of hindsight will give you a +10 to that.
I mean, it's not a bad thing to have.
No?
Like, it's not like the armor of get stabbed.
Hey, that armor stays very clean.
I can't imagine.
So you guys are all down there, and Ferens himself actually walks down and says, I just finished scrying the necromancer. He's still wandering around Orna for the time being. He's looking surprisingly lost for a man who's got such an intimidating history. He seems a bit bumbling.
I'm not sure if he
Considering
knows,
that metropolitan, I'm not surprised.
and the fact of that he might not know Gnomish. We're lucky that someone here could translate a map.
Is Orna really that hard to navigate without Gnomish? I've been told by friends in the past it is.
It is. We're lucky that one of our
really-
parties comprehend languages.
Wasn't so hard to navigate, it was just knowing where we had to go in the first place.
Uh-huh.
And
I
very
suppose
few
that's fair.
knowing a common.
Anyways,
So I have, while we were walking about, like just reading the signs, listening to the people, but I think I have gotten a grasp on the Gnomish now.
oh, like the entire language?
Yeah, pretty much. Close enough.
You work quickly, don't you?
And I tell him in Gnomish, yeah, I try. I like study languages.
His eyebrow perks up and he says, very well then. The two of my golems have been making us dinner back at the tavern. I'll meet you there in approximately 30 minutes for a lovely meal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That sounds good.
And then tomorrow morning we'll get right to training.
Mm-hmm.
And he heads off.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to tinker with these items anymore before
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The rod of
I-
turning.
the ring of pointing?
Yeah, I was gonna try and use the ring of pointing, but
The ring of pointing has a button on it.
I
and,
pressed the.
When you press the button, a little dot appears on the wall ahead of you.
Laser
And
pointer.
you realize that if you move your finger, that the dot moves with it.
It's like, ooh, that could actually be useful for actually pointing out things.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Like,
we
have you
can
ever-
make
have you
the
ever-
pirate wizard blind.
Have you ever
Turning
had
it
the
into his
issue where
eyes.
Have you ever been at the issue where somebody points at something for you and you actually didn't know what he's actually pointing at? Hey, that would actually, that's useful.
Yeah.
Situational but useful.
What about the rod of turning? Someone want to?
Yeah. I want to try using it on the armor just because.
It does nothing.
Hmm.
You can make a spellcraft check to see if you can understand the magics behind it.
Yes.
But you'd like cast it kind of almost haphazardly and randomly around the room, and it doesn't affect anything. With that, you can tell that actually, you think that there's like a spell here to make milk spoil.
Turning.
The milk turns.
Oh. Well then.
Well, I mean, we
I
could.
was hoping it would turn undead.
I was hoping it would be like just turning something around, like 5 degrees or something, just turning it.
I try lighting the torch of night vision, unless it's.
All right. You light the torch of night vision. You're holding a torch.
Okay, apparently.
It's a brightly lit torch.
I kind
Okay,
of take magic on it. Is it really
It does
magical?
have magic.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna put the torch out then.
All right.
I was going to say I thought the ring of pointing would actually work, but you put it on and then you can point at things with the ring that has the finger that has the ring on it.
Some of these actually do seem kind of useful. Not the anti-sword armor. That's completely useless. But hey,
I mean, if you can trick somebody into wearing it.
I mean,
This
if
is-
it's nice, it can be used in a social setting, technically speaking.
Yeah, to look more more knightly, more proper.
So, did you want to actually try to figure out what the torch of night vision does?
yeah.
Somebody's gonna need to roll me a spellcraft check.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
I'm on
not
it.
me then.
Ha! Modular
Yeah, this torch, while lit, grants 30 feet of night vision to the wielder.
In addition to giving out light so that it doesn't work anyway.
It works very well.
Yeah, but regular torch would as well. Well done.
I mean, if you could somehow make it that the torch is covered while it's on,
Yeah.
But why?
so you have dark vision and the other person in the room doesn't.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, how would you cover something like if the actual flame? Flame would just die.
I'll be back in a minute.
The proper solution is to be a race that has night vision. Then you don't need to
Yeah.
worry about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of these things are very situational, but potentially useful.
I check out the purse. How big is it on the inside?
You open it up and it's actually smaller on the inside.
You said it was like a quart or something?
It's 1 quart of space.
What about if you turn it around? Like, bag of holding apparently doesn't work if you turn it around, but if you turn the purse around, it might work as a normal purse.
Or is it like a bag
you
of
can-
holding and you destroy like a space of space?
I imagine it follows the same rules as a bag of holding for being turned inside out.
So if you're gonna try, I'm gonna get out of the room.
No, I mean, you could just turn it into that, use it like a regular purse. I mean, by using the outside as the inside. And you could use it for, destroying destroying small objects by destroying the purse with it. Well, not destroying, but, sending it to the astral plane or whatever happens.
Or we, depending on, I don't know how it works in this universe, but if we put the purse of holding into a real bag of holding, if it explodes or not, an interdimensional implosion.
Yeah, it creates it. So how Pathfinder works is if extra dimensional spaces are placed inside of each other, then all of the things contained in both are sucked into a void and lost forever.
Like 3.5e, there was rules for putting a bag of holding into a portable hole, rules for putting a portable hole into a bag of holding, but not for putting a bag of holding into a bag of holding or a portable hole into a portable hole. And that is...
Boom.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they just get sucked into the void. So theoretically, this is useful if you want to destroy the contents of a bag of holding.
Oh, is that what
Yep.
the purse of holding does? Is
No, it
The
just
purse
has
of
a side
holding-
effect, but being a of holding item.
oh,
It
For
has an
being-
extra dimensional space on the inside, but it's smaller than the actual space of the purse.
If it's not extra dimensional, is it just intradimensional?
No, because it's still of another dimension. It's just smaller than what the usual contents are.
it's an anti-holding. Basically, it's less useful than having a purse.
It might be useful for faking having a full purse. Like you put a couple of coins in there, looks like you have a full purse to lure in a snatcher, like a cut purse.
Maybe, but we're not in that business, so.
We could go back to Riddleport. You can definitely find one there. It's just you just have to try. What else haven't we investigated?
The Lycan
String of-
fork. I'm just immediately gonna do a spellcraft on that one.
What are you doing it up?
On the Lycan fork. The Lycan.
Yeah, it turns into a fork on the full moon.
Yeah, that's what I guessed.
Yep.
A multi-purpose tool.
I guess
You just need a move.
by definition.
Soup
I
for
mean-
most of the year, and pasta on the full moon, once a month.
I just spread out the deck of many twos. Look through all the cards. Look through all the cards.
So you look through all the cards, and it actually looks like a regular deck of cards.
Now pull 8 cards.
Okay,
Draw 8 cards. Draw.
I'll draw 8 cards.
5 of them are 2s.
I mean, we could have some fun trying to play games. Okay.
For
Really
cheating
mess
at
people up.
blackjack. You could cheat at blackjack.
Though
Possibly.
would affect the dealer as well
Mhm.
as the players.
But it would make things interesting.
I wonder, will I get a 2 or something else?
It'd make 21 very interesting.
Yeah.
2, hit me 2, hit me 2, hit me 2.
Tent of Urban Survival, I assume, just has an effect that warms you up.
I mean,
You have no idea. Do you want to make a spellcraft check?
Yes. Steadily going up.
All right, yeah, that's a good spellcraft check. Yeah, with this, you realize that it makes you better at survival, but only when it's set up as a tent and only indoors.
Only indoors. Ellen. But it says urban survival, so okay. And while I'm adding a spellcraft on the rock, the stone of discomfort.
There's some sort of magic there. You're not quite sure what it is.
Maybe raocow can help as well.
Are you guys gonna try picking it up?
Oh, Nava.
I
Oh,
assume I
wow.
pick
Nava
it up.
immediately knows what this is. Nava, you know that this stone is always just a little too hot to hold comfortably? You know when you're like unloading dishes from a freshly done dishwasher and the plates are just really hot and you don't want to hold on to them very long? It's like that. It's like that
Well-
temperature always, but only when somebody's touching it.
Well, that could be useful. Yeah. Or we could, have fun playing hot potato or something.
Well then.
But I suppose that's all of the items.
Well, the potion of hydration, but it's basically water, I am assuming.
Well, I'm assuming it hydrates you more than regular water, but
I
Yeah,
mean,
but still.
you could roll a spellcraft check over it. Too.
Okay, just drink it right away. No, that's a waste. Spellcraft.
This isn't magic, it's just water.
I told you! I told you! Drinking water.
Well, then I'll pour the potion of hydration in the anti-spill mug and try and take a drink out of it.
You can't, because the water won't spill out.
Well, that's called we need to get straws. Oh well. I'm just gonna leave the mug there then.
I'm just gonna leave a mug full of water on the shelf.
yeah, that's gonna go bad very quickly.
Well,
Only if you use the rod of turning, right?
Actually, turn the mug upside down. See if the water sticks to the bottom, or if it goes like slides down to the opening and then just sticks there.
Okay, I'll turn it upside down.
You turn it upside down, it sticks to the bottom of the mug.
Well then.
I mean, that's not useless, technically speaking.
But
I mean,
if you
yeah,
can't
if you've
even
got-
drink out of it.
If you've got a straw, it's definitely useless for taking a drink while on a roller coaster.
But like, if you have like extremely precious liquid of some kind,
Like some ancient dragon blood.
you can just keep it forever. Like, you wouldn't be afraid of spilling it anywhere for real.
But then there's the question of how do you get it out when you need it?
Well, it's still water. Like, can you like dip a spoon in it?
That's usually
get the lichen fork in it, and yeah, there's nothing stopping you from doing that.
Yeah, you can use tools.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and get the water out of there, out of the mug using the lichen fork.
All right, yeah, that seems to work just fine.
Okay. So basically, so long as the water's not actually touching the lip, it'll go out.
Like I imagine it'll evaporate on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not a useless thing. It's just extremely niche.
Like everything else.
Yeah. But I suppose we're done here. Might as well I'll grab the deck of many twos and head off.
Yeah, I'll take the tome of infinite jokes, knock jokes. It's gonna get. It will probably get corny after a while if I use it too much, but I haven't used comedy in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so yeah, you guys mosey off to dinner, I guess, unless anybody else.
Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
I grab the glasses. Bring them.
All right, so you've got the glass of hindsight, the tome of infinite knock jokes, and the deck of many too. Cool.
I should grab the ring of pointing too.
Yeah, whoever has the highest perception modifier.
That's probably not.
And so you guys head off to dinner with Farron's, and you make it to kind of this back banquet hall. One of the golems leads you back there, and Farron's is sitting at the end of the table. And he says, "Please, take a seat." And you see that this table is actually full of like, you know, like the classic medieval dinner with like the roast whole pig with the apple in its mouth and everything. Yeah, you got a classic medieval banquet going on here. Please take a seat. And the golems immediately start serving you food.
Yeah,
He says,
So these other golems, are they also bound to your life force, or are they just regular golems?
No. These are just regular golems. Udak is the only one that I made special.
Right.
So tomorrow, we need to do some training, and I suspect that our two spellcasters here, Nava and Velmir, was it? I believe that you two probably aren't super familiar with going head-to-head in combat with a spellcaster.
I mean, I know Nava. Some is. It seems like he's pretty good at summoning stuff.
I mean, I try to avoid combat as much as possible. So yeah, I don't have that much experience. Like, I mean, we've had fights here and now, but
I'm a
it's not
healer.
really that.
I'm a healer, Jim, not a fighter.
Yeah.
We had a bit of going down through the center or whatever of the ruins or whatever, something like that. We ran into it. We ran into a death worm, and escaped.
I suspect, however, that some more traditional training in this matter might be nice. So, Velmir, you're a magus, correct?
Yep, that's right.
If that's the case, I'd like you to prepare a couple of. I'd like you to prepare a couple of shield spells for tomorrow. I assume that Nava, you additionally have the shield spell in your arsenal.
I do have shield, yes.
All right, then tomorrow morning, meet me in the Siege Ball Arena, and we'll do some training. The rest of you, the golems actually can be used for combat training at any time. Otherwise, I just request that you hone your skills in the time that you're here. And yeah, with that, dig in, everybody. And also, the golems will lead you to your rooms upstairs in the inn afterward.
Okay.
And I imagine dinner passes peacefully. Does anybody have any things they want to bring up to Farron's?
I'm gonna say I'm surprised you have a suit for a winged kobold, but for going out in the thing. But
Well, I mean, they are not terribly form-fitting suits. They don't need to fit to specifications too closely. I have a wide range of guests. I try to accommodate. And sure enough, you remember that there was just basically a wall covered in these suits in the hangar. So it was pretty intensive.
But aside from that, I don't really have much to say. So I'm just.
All right. Well, good night, everybody, and I will see you in the morning.
Right.
And then the next morning comes. You got brought to your bedrooms, and they're very comfortable, and you're basically led to these fancy accommodations that you enjoy after your long journey. You guys have been traveling a lot by foot. And the next morning, Valmir and Nava, you meet Farron's in the Siege Ball Arena, and he's actually got one of his golems there with him. You guys are kind of in the center of it. And he turns to you guys and says, all right, today, gentlemen, I'm going to teach you how to counterspell somebody. Now, how counterspelling usually works is usually you prepare to counterspell someone, and when you do so, you need to see if you can figure out what spell they're casting in the first place. And if you cast the exact spell back at them at that exact moment, then it counters out their spell. This can work for any spell, really. And that's going to be incredibly useful if you're going up against someone as powerful as this wizard. Even the smaller things, even simply a magic missile spell canceled out from a powerful wizard can be huge. That can save your party member in the right time. So it's good to recognize when the opponent is on offense and when you might be able to counter them. So My golem here has the use of a very small number of spells, and I want you to try to counter them because I feel that this is something that you might not have learned. So, here we go. Prepare yourselves, and this golem does in fact start a gesture in order to cast a spell. Roll me a spellcraft check to see if you recognize it. Yeah, you guys both immediately recognize this as a shield spell.
Oh, that was my spell.
Now, do you cast the shield spell back?
I mean, I would.
I guess so.
All right, so both of you just counteracted immediately, and it kind of just backfires in the golem's face.
Thankfully, the
Thankfully-
golem is now well shielded.
No, actually, the shield spell was completely canceled out because that's how counterspelling works. So Farron's is delighted. He's like, "Wow, you might be a bit better off in this situation than I anticipated. You got that pretty well done." The downside, of course, to counterspelling is the fact that you need to know what your opponent is able to cast. But luckily enough for us, it seems that Velmir's actually collected the spell book of the person that you are looking to go after. So it seems like things are a little more in your favor than they would be in most situations. I recommend.
I still have to have it prepared, so it's still.
That's true. That is true. However, if you're going to be preparing for the next day and you understand that your opponent is likely to cast certain spells, then you can certainly know which ones to prepare in order to at least counter a few, and that could be invaluable. I know that most wizards probably don't prepare more than, say, one mage armor spell per day if they're planning going to combat, unless they're planning on a long, sustained day. So, for example, if you can counteract his mage armor spell at the beginning of combat, if you catch him off guard and he immediately tries to do so in reaction, that could be astounding for your party to actually take down such a dangerous foe. These are simply my recommendations. I will leave you my golems to practice this on as you see fit. In the meantime, Velmir, if you need to learn some more spells, I can also lend you the use of my spellbook to copy some.
That would be appreciated.
All right. And with that, he says, "All right. Simply, it's up in my office whenever you. Just come see me, and I'll share it with you. And just for the sake of expediency, that's a spellbook."
Right.
So just keep in mind that you can't learn all of these because they're
Yeah.
wizard spells and you're Magus. But you could learn a lot of these. And Farron's absolutely encourages you. And Farron's actually spends most of the rest of the day kind of in his office, squirreled away. Do any of you do anything this day?
I'm probably gonna take him up on the offer and do some light combat with the golems or whatever. Trying to.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some archery training.
All right. Sure enough, the golems make for excellent sparring partners. The golems actually have some basic. They've got a little attachment. One of them has a little attachment in his arm that makes an archery target pop up, and he can move it at very consistent speeds, and he can increase it in size, and he can basically help you out a lot with your archery training. Sparring with the golems is great too. They never deal a fatal blow, but you can also adjust how much they don't go easy on you as well. So you guys managed to actually learn a lot from fighting these golems. And Farron's actually scries Zrydan again today as well. And he finds that Zrydan actually, and he actually calls you all into his office at this point. He points you all to look at the font where he's scribed Zrydan, and he says, "Look at this." And you look in, and it seems that Zrydan is aboard. He seems to be at the helm of a ship, but the ship is green and glowing and ethereal looking. He looks perfectly normal. and like the human that he is, but he's clearly at the helm of a ship.
Mhm.
And scrying actually lets you see a little bit around you as well, and you can actually see a few skeletons wandering around on the periphery.
I see he's probably gone to the Bloodsworth Island.
One thing that I am interested in is to see where he ends up going. Unfortunately, scrying like this doesn't tell us exactly where he is. We might need to wait a few days before he actually settles into a location where we can track.
Well, as we said, he knew that Dock was somewhere around Riddleport, and an island covered in rock candy isn't exactly inconspicuous.
Absolutely not. That's definitely going to set off his artifact alarm.
Mhm. Hopefully the one farm that was left on the island doesn't remove its anti-magic thing, because I think one of us has a parasol that keeps attacking. It just shows up out of nowhere.
Is that the case? A parasol?
Yeah,
There's a necromancer approaching a defenseless farm, and you're worried about the cursed parasol.
Wait a minute, hold on. Do you mean this parasol? And he pulls out a bright pink parasol from behind his back. He walks over and he says, "Yeah, this actually appeared in my office last night, and I wasn't quite sure." And he trips immediately, and the parasol goes flying at you. Make me a reflex check.
I actually thought he would have found it like in the ocean or something.
Do we all have to make a reflex save, or just
No, it's going right for Velmir.
All right. I was looking at the spells. All right. Here. Reflex.
Oh boy.
No.
You get hit. So this parasol hits you like right in the neck for 5 damage.
Ah. Ouch.
Like it hits you right in the Adam's apple, and so you're choking a bit too, and it freaking sucks. And now the parasol's just sitting on the ground in front of you.
And a lay on hand.
Ferens gets up immediately and says, I am so sorry," and he brushes himself off, looks down. Are you okay?
This is not the worst it has done to me. It's fine.
He'll be okay soon.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you're absolutely okay.
Yep.
All right. So anything else interesting you'd like to do today?
No. Yeah, and I think we should ask: is there any way you can make that parasol not? Is there any way you can get rid of the curse on that parasol?
Yeah.
Well, I can try a dispel magic effect here. So hold on, and he kind of leans back a little and casts some magic at it.
I go away quickly.
And it the parasol shakes violently, and Ferens is actually thrown back into his desk. And he stands up and brushes himself off and says, "I suppose not."
Figures.
They had to remove the anti-magic the anti-magic nail in that post.
Why would somebody make something so resilient and so petty?
How did you get the parasol again?
Traveling wizard word merchant. He vanished very quickly after I purchased it. Like literally vanished. So I have no idea who he is or what he is or anything. It has been stuck with me for a long time. The problem is it's still a useful item, but it's still so goddamn ugly. I can't stand it.
It is very, very pink.
I can't get rid of the thing. That's the only issue. I reluctantly put it back in its usual place.
In the bag or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking a leather sling or something on the below the back, the
Gotcha.
backpack that I can stick it in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, another day passes, and Farron's informs you all that he scryed Zrydan again this morning, and he didn't manage to find anything of interest. It seems like Zrydan's still aboard a ship.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine the training continues.
Mm-hmm.
Another day passes.
Training montage.
And this keeps going on. 5 days later, it's still going. Farron keeps saying that, sure enough, Zrydan has not left his ship.
Which is unusual. Maybe he's taking the long sailing path.
I'm starting to find it weird that he's just making us stay here, not doing much for this long.
I mean, we're training.
We're doing our epic montage. It takes a while.
But the question is, what does Ferenc intend to do once we find the guy?
And I mean, you tell yourself, like, the training is just kind of basic fighting that y'all already know how to do.
I mean, counterspelling would be useful, but
I think we're being led to stay here.
you know, you could just ask him what the plan is. Like, I think that hasn't actually told us the plan.
Yeah.
I agree.
So who
Ask
goes to
him-
talk to him?
I do.
I'll
Right.
follow.
You walk into his office and he looks up and he says, yes. How can I help you, Don?
Yeah, was just wondering, how long are we gonna stay here? Like, what's the plan for?
I've been working on a few things. I'm simply waiting for Zrydan to actually stop somewhere, stop at a city or maybe some sort of base that he might have, etc.
Just find some landmark.
Exactly. Once we can actually find out where he is, then
Mhm.
I suspect that I should be able to have my plan come into action.
What is that plan then? Just curious. If we know we could prepare for it, be more prepared to deal with it.
Well, what I was roughly planning was to have Doc go with you all and head to the location, and ideally find a way to catch him off guard. There are many spells from my repertoire that may be able to assist with that matter, including some spells such as Alter Self, would allow you guys to sneak aboard and potentially take him off guard then.
Because I've been wondering, we wouldn't necessarily have to stay down here. We could just leave, take the 2 artifacts that we have with us somewhere else, like.
Oh, no. Right here is certainly the safest place.
But sir, like right now, we don't see where we are. We know about he's bad on the sea. I think it'd be more efficient to at least let me go and fly around and look for him through the air. I'll have a much greater sense of where he is quicker than the very thin spotlight we have on him right now.
Exactly,
You are certainly safest right here. I promise you.
I'm
There's
not
no safer place.
talking about safety. I'm talking about we do have something dangerous going on out there.
And we basically want to, do something.
And if I'm I'm gonna be flying around, I cannot be scribed. I'm not really going to be in any danger.
Has anybody used spell check on these brooches yet?
No, but I think I will after we're done with this conversation.
Alright.
I'm saying this out of character.
Yeah.
Look, there's no telling what could happen to you out there. You might get captured by him, and he may be able to extract the information from your mind via various spells that read thoughts or simply torture the information out of you in a standard.
Then
That
someone
is
will come
conflicting.
with me so that, you know what, if I'm captured, they can off me, whatever. Like, we need to get this done. And
I implore you, patience. There will come the time.
This is
Oh,
my
okay.
issue. It takes about a day to go from Riddleport to the Ring of Fire. And now this guy has been sailing on the sea for like 4 days. There's nothing around the whole continent. Like, either he's going so far away that he's never gonna come back, or
I mean, he has to find out that
Um,
he has to actually find the island first, and he hasn't seen it. But you know,
but it still takes like a day to go
think
to each of them.
I would I probably should have gone there because I would have made the alternate point of he might have sailed straight from Anna up there, and that's quite a distance.
and yeah, because it was in honor. Also, it wasn't a ship a flying ship, so he might be, you know, flying above the mainland looking for dock.
I think it was very explicitly on the sea, but
Was it? I forget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from kind of the edges of the scrying the first time you were there and actually watched the scrying, you saw that there were like splashes of seawater coming.
Mm-hmm.
Look, gentlemen, I don't know what to tell you. I promise you, patience will be rewarded. Is there anything that I can do to
that
make
makes
you
me-
more comfortable with the idea of just being patient?
Actually, that makes me wonder if he's going to be all the way up to the Bloodless Island. What? How do we know that he's still there if we go there from all the way here? Even if we find out that he's there, we'll be gone when we get there.
I have very quick means to transport us. We could get there within probably 24 to 48 hours, and that should be enough for us to get there and at least pick up his trail very easily.
wait, wouldn't it make more sense than go there because we have reasonable reason to think he will go there and wait for him?
I'm I'm gonna enter. Head up there, noticing they've got up and have been up there a while. So, head into the office.
Okay,
Wow.
so you're there too. At this point, he's actually getting kind of mad at you guys, and he says, "Look, heading out of here is possibly a ticket to complete disaster, and I simply can't afford that."
What?
I mean, you have to understand Nava's getting bored. He, whatever, doesn't like being stuck under a dome, under a ceiling.
Look, I do understand, but at the same time, there is no safer place at this time.
Come, Nava, we can play a bit of Siege Ball. It's about past the time.
You
Wink, wink,
can't
nudge,
go
nudge.
too far away because they'll. No, this more. I'm wondering.
Let's
We
get
have
out
this-
and. What?
Just out of character, do we have a sense of how deep we are?
You have a lot of difficulty telling. You do see that the sky, or the sky, as it were, does brighten up a little bit during the day. So you can tell that you are definitely out from underneath the cavern system, and you're out in open ocean. But it's a little darker than you've seen, so you're guessing you're pretty far deep.
Because like as we walk out, once we're like outside of earshot, I'm gonna whisper it on my thoughts that I'm considering summoning a sea animal and getting out of here that way.
Well, I've just rolled sense motive. Let's see if I actually trust what Ferren said.
Yeah, you don't notice anything unusual. Like it seems like he's staying consistent. He got mad at you there, but you were also pushing him, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, so he's probably just paranoid.
Fair enough. I mean, just
Was that including the +5 from your artifact? from your monocle?
Oh yeah, I forgot to add that. Yes.
Okay, so if that's the case, if you forgot to add that, then
Yeah, I did.
you're pretty sure he's lying. You're pretty sure that because you haven't seen the scrying at all, you think that there's something up. You're not even sure he is scrying. And
I'm gonna ask him. Hey, how about sitting in for the next crying session you do?
he kind of bolts up from his desk, like just his head. He doesn't stand up, but he like looks up at you with a start and says, "Sure, we could absolutely have you sit in for the next scry. I don't see what the purpose would be, but certainly, maybe there's something that you recognize. There's no telling what information.
I've got a little bit of knowledge on local stuff. I'm surprised that I've studied a little bit more since I was freed.
Yeah, sure. We can have you sit in for the next scrying session. Sure.
I'm curious about scrying. I'm not really the experience in all that magic stuff. I clean a bit my monocle. How does the spell work? Like, what does it do?
You guys already left the place.
Oh right, yeah,
I imagine you can walk back in.
yeah.
I'm not.
So you are casting Zone of Truth on him, so he gets a will save. He nat 20'd that. And he's like, what did you cast on me? It didn't work, but what did you cast on? What is that?
Well,
And cast Detect Magic.
I just cleaned my monocle. What?
And it's a monocle enchanted with Zone of Truth. Okay. You don't trust me, I see. Look, just come to the scrying tomorrow morning. Look, I promise you, I understand your frustrations, but I really am trying to do what's best for the entirety of us.
I'm coming to the scrying tomorrow. So you kind of didn't have to do that, Valmir, but hey.
What? I didn't do anything.
I'm
not even there.
Done.
What?
Oh, my head hurts. I'm not great with names. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. So, has anybody gone like outside the city at all?
That's what I'm doing.
I did the first day, but
after our conversation, I'm gonna go to Hangar, suit up, and go in the path that goes towards the Coral Garden.
All right. Yeah, you head to the Coral Garden, and it's a beautiful little garden of coral.
So before I do that, like I dismiss Pineapple, and I'm gonna use my summon monster ability to summon a friendly shark.
All right, you have a friendly shark at your disposal now.
I wanted it to try and go to the surface and back, and how long it takes.
All right. So it starts swimming upward. And after a little bit, you hear a loud siren coming from inside the base.
Uh-huh.
I
And
face palm because I forgot to mention, because I forgot to mention there was an alarm spell.
Well, that's still happening.
It's still happening. You see a couple of the golems putting on some sort of like protective suit. They're not putting on like the same kind of suit that you guys had, but you see them in the hangar, like getting themselves assembled for underwater. And by the time they actually come out, your shark has come back. You're probably about 150 feet under.
All right, that means I can get out of here.
I'm going to facepalm and say, "Oh, great! I forgot to tell the summoner that my party members that there's an alarm spell."
Right. So once my shark is back, I'm gonna dismiss it, thank it for its service, and I'm gonna run back in the hangar and try to be on like surprised about what's going on about the alarm. It's like,
Right,
what's going on here?
The golems basically step out the door and you're walking back, and they kind of gesture for you to come back in. There's an awkward pause in the airlock as all the water drains, and you step back into Miridia, and Farron's is there, like standing right there. He's like, "What just happened?"
Oh, so look, I was checking out the Coral Garden. I got bored. I told you I'm bored. I made a friend to play with, and accidentally, I guess, I don't know, at some point, lights started to blare. I made my friend come back. I dismissed him, and I wanted to come in and check out what's happening. Like, I got kind of startled here.
Roll me a bluff check.
On it.
Kind of looks you up and down, and his eyes squint. Maybe you're best off staying inside the dome for now.
I agree.
And with that, he heads back to his office.
See, I'm not gonna do that right now because that just gets me out, and I got a few other people here that kind of grew attached to over time. I can only summon a one shark, I think. Yeah. Unless everyone wants to ride a squid, because I could summon more than one. These are things I'm thinking about.
So anybody else want to do anything this day?
I'm busy copying spells.
Yeah,
Phase Palma and Nava, and after that, I'll head outside to enjoy the Coral Garden some more. And
I mean, you don't know it's you don't know it's me. I mean,
Right,
you can
so,
safely assume, but
So you head out to the Coral Gardens. Are you gonna do anything while you're out there?
Looking about, maybe try to catch a view of the Kraken.
All right, yeah. Roll me a perception check.
Just okay.
All right. And with that, you actually managed to catch a glimpse of the Kraken. You're kind of walking around the edge of probably where you're suspecting the alarm barrier is. It seems to probably double the radius of the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're walking around, you actually see off in the distance a big old Kraken. There's a picture of it. Roll 20. And it's big and it's mean and it's basically to scale in this photo.
Mm-hmm.
But because you rolled so high, that is not the only thing you notice.
sweet.
You also
echoes.
notice as you're wandering around, the Kraken doesn't seem to pay you any mind. But as you're kind of wandering around the edge of this barrier and you're kind of looking at the Kraken, you notice also off in the distance, outside the alarm barrier, you see an obelisk.
Oh,
Torment.
by obelisk, I'm presuming the same ones that we found before.
It looks exactly like this.
1, 2.
Yep. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say, hey, that's a nice discovery. We just need to wait for the full moon.
It's been what since we won there? Around 3
You've got about a week
weeks?
until the next full moon.
Yeah, my mind math was correct.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna kind of keep that to myself, but I am gonna go with the scrying bit tomorrow. And that's the stuff. I'm gonna head back in and go train some more.
All right. So you head up. So you spend the rest of your day normally, and then go to bed, wake up the next morning, and everybody is in Farron's office for the scrying.
At night, I want to do something.
All right. What did you do in the night?
I'm leaving the brooch I was given on the bed I sleep in, and I want to head towards the hangar.
Okay. So you did
well,
want to. Did you cast detect magic on those earlier?
Nope. I'm
You
afraid.
should-
I'm afraid it'll trigger something.
well, you should roll a spellcraft check at least, or
Well,
Or-
that involves a detect magic.
Yeah, I need to Yeah, and I'm not taking that chance.
That's fair.
I'm looking
So-
through his spell list. What could he do that would, like doing the scrying, quote unquote?
I mean, I don't know. Dude, the echo's getting real hard. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
Terrence,
thinking-
could you turn down the threshold?
Turn
it
on
is actually
push
not.
to talk.
Someone say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really strong.
That's really, really strange.
Turn on fucking push to talk.
I just turned the volume down on my headphones, but I'm wearing headphones. So
Okay.
What do you have against push to talk?
oh. Am I okay? I'm still in Discord. Push to talk is very hard. I will forget constantly.
I mean, because you can hear it, you can't hear how terrible the echoing is. But it got we couldn't speak because we were burying ourselves.
Luckily, I think it's mostly fixed now. So, yeah. So Nava, you kind of drop off your echoes back.
Is it still there?
Yep.
Testing. It
Yes.
seems. I'm guessing that it's close to fixed.
Because when he said testing, there was no echo, but afterwards there were.
Because every time it's going off, it's because I'm crinkling a bag of chips. Or, well, every time it's saying I'm going live.
All right. Well, oh no, that's definitely some echo. That just stopped. Okay.
As
Alright,
we're
usual,
good.
it's oddly irregular.
Yeah.
All right. So, echo. No. Nava,
Mm-hmm.
you drop off your brooch
Yep.
and you head to the hangar.
Uh-huh.
All right. You are in the hangar.
Yeah, I suit up because I'm gonna go to the garden.
All right. The golems are watching you. They're
I'm-
at the same station they usually are.
I expect that. I wave them hello, even though I know they won't react.
And they don't react.
So I go on the outer side of the coral garden that is well within our area,
Yep.
and gonna summon a shark and ride it out of here.
All right. So you're just gonna go.
Yep.
All right. So you just go and you trigger the alarm very quickly.
I expected as such.
Are you heading straight up or are you heading just horizontally out? Like, what are you trying to do?
Diagonally.
Okay. So not straight up, but up anyways.
Yes.
All right. So you're heading out and riding the hell out of this shark, getting the hell out of Dodge. So you're riding up to the surface, and you brake on the surface, and you actually see that you are. You kind of see off in the distance the distinctive structures along the coast of the city of Orna. So you're
Okay.
probably maybe a mile from shore.
I'm gonna. Okay. I hope that 1 minute is enough because I'd summon pineapple and I'd get out of here through the air.
All right, you take off. Like it's really hard to do the summoning ritual while like treading water, but you do. And you hop aboard pineapple and you take off for land.
And I'll fly to Orna. Like I'm not landing. Like I'm doing the whole bit in the air because I think it's faster than running.
So you make it back to the city of Orna.
Yep. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my wagon and I'm going to head back to Daventry. I want to speak with Biggerton as quick as possible.
All right. So you just bail on your party and head north. All right.
I hope that the fact that I left my brooch very openly on my bed tells the message of what I'm doing.
All right. So yeah, you head off. Yeah, you managed to get your cart back from the inn, who were kind of confused as to why this cart just got left here. But they managed to keep hold of it.
I give them a tip for keeping it.
Right,
Even though it was
they
unexpected.
thank you profusely, and they're like, we're just very glad that this cart made it back to its owners properly. And then you take off.
Taking the northern route.
All right. Okay, so let's cut back to the world map then. So, are you heading? So the northern route. So you're cutting up to Riddleport then.
I'm actually surprised you're going on your own.
I can't bring anyone with me. And I don't trust being able to actually speak to anyone. Because dude is a very powerful wizard.
A very powerful wizard traps you in his underwater base. What do you do?
I summon a
Trust
shark and I
nobody.
get out of here.
I mean,
Everyone is a traitor. Kill everyone.
You don't trust the paladin. That makes me sad.
It's not that I don't trust you, it's that I don't
This is
trust
not-
being able to communicate with you.
not the para.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you just head off, and your journey is pretty uneventful. But while that's going on, obviously things are still happening underwater. So let's.
Oh yeah, I'm aware that you're cutting me off of the main narrative. I accept that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that nothing particularly exciting is gonna happen if you're just going to Daventry. It is going to take you 5 days to get there.
Fair.
I'm rolling to see if I notice it that Nava is gone.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, you could roll.
everybody.
Well,
Everybody notices Nava is gone because that night after the alarm goes off, Farron's comes out and he's basically searching everywhere for all of you. He gets tabs on all of you and then looks furiously for Nava and can't find her. And he's freaking out. He is visibly shaking and he's like, Did that summoner take the artifact?
Told you, man. Sylphs did it like
Um,
being stuck.
What's up, Terrence?
He has it.
Going live.
You're cutting out a lot now. I know it's a fine line to walk between echoing and cutting out. But if that line could be fixed, that'd be great.
I said I'm gonna tell him I have the pouch of things on my person.
Okay, well that's good at least. But Nava knows where this base is. If Nava gets captured, that could be the end of it. No. This is not good. This is not good at all. You all go back to bed. I will think of something. Actually, wait. Do any of you have any possessions of Nava's?
Nope.
Nope, not really. As far as M's go, maybe Nava left her whatever their brooch on or something like that.
Meta knowledge.
Oh, never mind. Maybe they left something at the in their room.
I'll go check. You head off to your beds. All right. So I need to pull up the scrying spell and see exactly what you need to roll on your will save here, Nava.
All right. So I do a will save.
Yep.
I mean, like my things. I guess Shield Ally applies. There's no reason why it wouldn't. It's weird.
I'm gonna ask Felmer, hey, can you see if these brooches are actually anti-scrying or not?
Sure.
I'll
give it a try.
You resist the scry, actually. So.
And the wizard didn't.
Oh. Felmer was just trying to see if they were anti-scrying.
I think you can kind of explain it by the fact that the wizard doesn't expect it, while I kind of do. So I just kind of try to, even though I don't know if that's a thing you can do, to just kind of try to will a thing like a scrying out. I guess that's kind of like what's happening because I'm kind of expecting it, I guess.
Yeah, that is kind of what happened. Yeah, and as for the spellcraft check, that's not enough to figure out exactly what the magic is on these things, but it is magic.
Right. Damn it.
You can try again tomorrow. So
Yes, I will.
the next morning, you guys actually head to the morning scry, and Farron's doesn't look like he got any sleep last.
Before we even head there, I want to do the spellcraft again.
Yeah, these are literally just anti-scrying brooches. There's nothing special about them.
Okay.
I couldn't take a chance.
Raocow's a name.
So you guys head to the morning scry. You're all gathered around Farron's, who looks absolutely exhausted and shaking and like terrified. And he's putting together the scrying ritual, and it's going a little slower than usual. He's not like doing great right now, but he does manage to do a full scry, and he does so on Zraidan. And what you see is not Zraidan on a ship. What you see is Zraidan. He's at a table in a relatively clean room that looks like it's in like a wooden cabin or something based on the architecture. And he's actually got a font of water next to him, which is presumably for scrying. And a skeleton actually comes by and drops a tray with a sandwich on it by his side before leaving.
Classy.
He's looking frustrated at a world map. Farron's looks up at you and says, "Oh, I guess he made landfall somewhere. Do any of you recognize where that is?"
Is there
Unfortunately,
anything that could identify where it is, if it's only the inside?
You only see the inside of a building.
Yeah, no.
Nowhere we've been to, I'm guessing. Like, otherwise we would have been told it's... Well.
So, you actually see the scrying is continuing, and Zraidan actually walks over to a tea kettle and pours himself a cup of tea, and then takes a sandwich. And then he's still kind of grumpy, but he steps outside. And it appears to be like a nice porch with a rocking chair on it that he sits in. And he begins sipping his tea and eating a sandwich. And it's not too hard to tell that even though you can only see in a 10-foot radius from him, that this is basically a beach house. He's definitely on the coast somewhere. And it's
Is he a wizard of the coast?
Oh,
by technicality.
One game
you are
system, I
correct.
know.
It's very funny, though. But yes, by technicalities, Zraidan is currently a wizard of the coast. Farron's turns to you and says, "Well, what about now? Do you recognize where this is now?"
Unfortunately, I'm not very familiar with the beaches of
Velmir?
No, can't say I do.
Actually, Velmir, roll me knowledge geography.
Alright.
I don't think Bummer has knowledge geography.
Nope.
I don't, but
I think he thinks it's somewhere on the west coast.
It's on a coast, all right.
I mean, I can
That
roll
sure
an
is
entering
a
one
coast.
as well, but I'm gonna roll one as well, and that's the best I could get. So yay!
Nah, you don't get it either.
Can we use like the shadows, his shadow, to triangulate the position of the sun, which we can use to triangulate his own position?
Roll me a survival check, because that's basically what that would be, his determining direction.
Oh boy.
All right, so yeah, you don't know.
And here I thought I was being clever.
He could be anywhere for all we know. Honestly, we never seen that beach before.
No, I feel like the more important thing at this time is tracking down Nappa and making sure that Nappa is okay and not captured in some capacity. This is important. We should. I need to take a nap. You gentlemen enjoy the rest of your day. I desperately need to
Yeah,
get some
get to
sleep.
sleep, parents. I'm pretty sure Nava might head up to Daventry, possibly. I think Nava's got a relative who owns a magic shop up there in Daventry,
Daventry, that's quite a ways away, but
and that's
I'll-
where Bakerton
I'll-
is as well.
I'll worry about it in the morning.
Hmm.
Then he kind of wanders out of his office.
And say, well, no, he's out. If worse, making sure he's out of earshot and that stuff. Close the door to the office and say, if worse comes to worst, there is an obelisk within walking distance outside.
You mean one of some full moon obelisks?
Yes.
That's one hell of a place to put one.
Uh-huh.
How long do you think is it until the next full moon? Like
A few
week?
days.
Yeah,
But yeah, probably about a week.
makes sense. If nothing happens by then, we might as well.
I mean, yeah.
That's how the party gets back together. We just quick travel to Daventry.
Yep, we use the Monkey Monk Monastery travel system.
Trademark pending.
It's the monkey story.
All right, so a day passes. Travel for Nava is continuing as usual, and a few more days pass unless anybody want to do something immediately. And
Did Farron's have any luck finding Nava, or?
I'm gonna actually need Nava to make one more save check against scrying. Yeah, Nava succeeds in resisting this scrying. Nava is pretty on top of it. It probably helps that he didn't actually have any materials that you owned, and he only knew you a little bit.
Technically, he gave Nava a brute, which
Yeah, but that wasn't really a possession, was
no,
it? Just like
it
something-
wasn't truly Nava's possession.
It was too short of a time.
Speaking of which, try that spellcraft again.
So time kind of gets blurry for Farron's because he is sleeping very little. Like even though he said that he was going to sleep early that day, he kind of just ended up staring at the ceiling all night. He's basically not sleeping, and he's struggling to focus enough to actually perform scries. So 5 days come and go, and you guys know that tonight's gonna be the night of the full moon.
You should really learn the keep watch spell. I'm not gonna tell it that, but I think you should.
a watch spell or something like that.
Keep watch. So you never have to
So you
sleep
don't have to
again,
sleep.
basically. If I just, as long as you just keep preparing it.
I know keep watch, yeah.
Wait, you
I've
know
probably
keep
been
watch?
using it
That's
now
pretty-
Yeah.
to get the spell copying done faster.
All right, yeah, that's totally cool.
Yep.
So you've copied basically. I'm gonna say you copied all of his level 1, 2, and 3 spells.
Man.
Those were like the fewest. Or
Like,
which I
I-
didn't already know.
I can just I do have keep watch on my spell known list. I could just cast it on Terrence if he's suffering from.
I think keep watch is a cast on yourself spell only.
It's touched.
Oh, yeah. Then you
Huh.
you could cast it on him.
You just need to find
Hey,
a way
I want to begin with the higher level stuff. Okay, with the spells. There are 6 spells.
Oh, you want
that
to
are-
start with the higher levels of spells? Okay.
So there are in total 6 spells in 4th, 5th, and 6th level that I didn't know.
Gotcha.
So those 6 are like easy. Easily done in the time.
Yeah. All right. Well, It's the
What
night of the full
does
moon,
keep-
no?
What does Keep Watch do anyway?
It just makes it so you don't have to sleep, and you still get all the bonus, like all the. As long as you don't do anything intensive, you basically still get all the benefits of sleeping, even though you're not sleeping.
As well, the resting part at least, you can't use the dream spell while using that.
That's true.
So, do we stick around here or do we leave? Here, it's actually pretty safe and that sort of stuff.
It is,
But we're not getting anywhere.
And to be quite honest, Nava is on their own out there, and it's quite possible that there's something might happen to them.
I mean, we could tell Farron's about the obelisk.
No, I think
Oh.
he would just destroy it. He'd just destroy it probably. Let's not.
Though he should be aware of it, since he spent 30 years down here building this place. He should already know about it.
Well, he's probably seen it, but he doesn't know what it do. I mean, but it
Yeah.
does. I mean, there's been one in Riddleport, and they just took it down.
Fair
Mm.
enough.
I just don't feel that's right to just vanish on it.
We could leave a note.
Actually, a good idea. Or maybe
Dear
not,
Farron.
or I don't know.
Dear parents, I'm afraid it doesn't work out between the two of us. We'll have to break up.
I mean, to be fair, the obelisk is so far out of there, out there, that I'm not sure many people could actually survive using the obelisk to get back here. It's basically a one-way.
Hmm.
I mean, spells, and if you
Yeah.
know that it's underwater,
Yeah. With preparation, it's easily done, and if you have magicians with you and whatnot.
But that
Yeah.
requires a few things. One, to know the Monkey Monk Monastery actually exists, which it's
Yeah.
apparently almost unknown. Second, to know that specifically to ask for that obelisk, which, again, they might not
it
even
is
remember
unlikely,
it.
but it's still not impossible.
yeah. Remember, Ference is paranoid.
Yeah, he's like, seriously paranoid. Disturbingly so, almost.
Hmm. I mean, we should at least keep the bridges and grab one for Nava as well and see him. Because anti-scrying is very useful.
Yeah, and since I could confirm that they are just anti-scrying and nothing else.
How convenient that the guy with scrying spells that we don't trust gave us items that prevent scrying.
Yep.
So, should we leave him a note?
But if one of you
should we-
writes it, I'm not gonna bother.
Or should we bring Doc along? That's a better question. Like he might want to see that dragon, and we could just,
Yeah, but like Farron said, he is connected to him now, so he has his character traits, and that
True.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And is the connection two-way? I wonder if they could like maybe telepathically communicate or something. It's not
Maybe.
impossible. This is some advanced stuff he's been doing with Doc.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
think
is.
Doc will be fine. He's got company down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's hope to Monkey Monk Monastery don't mind us crashing their party again.
Yep.
Hopefully it won't. Say we had reasons to, and that sort of.
And I hope the teleporting fog comes before all the golems come after us when the alarm goes.
What you should do is just Rhaegar should write a note telling parents that we got bored and we're just gonna take a walk outside to see the Kraken and a bit on the water. Just so he thinks we're gonna come back. That it doesn't get too worried and tries to look after us or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, that works. Actually, should take 2 brooches. Second one for pineapple, maybe. What happens if you?
How does pineapple wear a brooch?
You put it on a piece of string and hang it around its neck.
Or,
What neck?
Torso,
waist.
whatever you call that.
A belt
Have to
decoration.
make a specially fit harness just to have a pin put on it.
I mean,
Just pin it on the pineapple. It's a piercing.
That would hurt, wouldn't it?
yes.
Depending on the anatomy of a flying birdfish pineapple.
I mean, it changes shape whenever it evolves, so maybe it just got a pinhole somewhere.
You just
Next
duct tape
level
the
up, I'm
pineapple.
just gonna add a little lump of flesh with no nerve ending, so you can just put a pin in it.
Precisely.
Ew.
I was more thinking like a scarf or something.
That makes too much sense.
Put the brooch on the scarf and wrap it around pineapple neck. Yeah, and tie it.
Or you could put it on a bit of a bracelet and then hang it around its feet.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know if pineapple's scribble or not. Possibly, given pineapple has its own mind. I think. Don't Eidolons have their own mind?
Is there anything you can't scry, really? Unless
Just
it's
says
like protected by
creature.
magic and stuff.
It just specifies creature, so pineapple would qualify.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I suppose write a note and I'll sneak over and try and grab a couple more brooches from the box in the inn.
Right.
All right, yeah, just roll me a basic stealth check. This isn't too hard because nobody's expecting you to go and steal some.
And I've got a plus 16. And still I only got a 20.
Yeah, I mean that's enough. So
Plus
Yeah, you may grab a few.
16.
Yes, I have a plus 16 stealth.
Okay.
Size modifiers are crazy for small characters.
I could have a plus 17, but it was confusing. I had a couple too many skill points.
yeah, so you
Wow.
swing in there and you snag a few, and
Yeah.
you got a couple extra brooches.
Mm-hmm. And well, we might as well head on out. If we're heading out now, we might as well head on out. Where the
All right. so you-
also, yeah, I'm gonna write a note on comment or something like that. Probably leave it on the bar, so it gets found. Possibly. Basically,
Cool.
saying, yep, we went out for a walk and that sort of stuff. And,
Oh, so you're not even telling the truth. You're just like, we went out for a walk.
Yep.
So much for leaving a note. Okay. So
Yep.
you guys head on out and you walk on toward the obelisk. And I assume you wait until close to midnight because that's when you remember
Yeah.
that happened.
Should you guys, I'm not there, take his artifact? Is that something that's possible to do?
I've been thinking about it, but then again, we were trying to keep the artifacts apart, and
That's
it
true.
is effectively kind of safe down there.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, well, we assume Farron's not gonna give it to anyone. So
Yeah, but that if he is in cahoots with Pirate Wizard Man,
If it wasn't Kurtz, he'd have all. He'd tried to do something to us and already.
well, or he's just trapping us here forever.
forever. In that case, he's doing a very poor job of that, considering how easy you got away.
I think he just wasn't expecting anyone to try.
He didn't know there was a secret teleporting spot right next door.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, wait till close to midnight or whatever. That's just stuff for suiting up.
All right. Well, yep. So you guys leave the note. You grab a couple of brooches. You head on out, and you wait until roughly midnight, and you head on out, and you guys just gun for it, or what?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys just swim for that obelisk. Ruggill leads the way, and you guys make it there. And the alarm has certainly gone off. And just as the golems have managed to put on their suits and have stepped out into the water and have started swimming towards you, that's when the water gets very cloudy, condenses around you, and then suddenly you're not underwater anymore, and what's around you is just fog, and that dissipates, and you're back at Lakshi-san.
Mm-hmm.
This time you're at a particular cul-de-sac, kind of, which is where you guys teleport in and out. And this one actually seems to be covered with a lot of cobwebs, basically. This is not a terribly well-used obelisk.
I can imagine.
And while you guys are readjusting to being there, let's cut back to Nava, because Nava just made it to Daventry this.
I'm making a beeline to Biggerton's cave home.
All right. So yeah, it's probably like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and around the time when you get there. But you do manage to make it back, and you cut through the spooky, creepy catacombs, and you make it down to the bottom, and you see Bakerton as a skeleton lying in his sarcophagus, and as you approach, he kind of sits up. It's like, "Oh, it's you. What are you doing back here already?
So
Is it just you?"
a mixture. It's just I've got a mixture of news. Good news. Doc is gonna be okay.
That's fantastic news. That sounds to me like you managed to track down Farron's son.
Bad news. Can you Terrance the Echo? Bad news. For some reason, Farron is keeping us trapped in an underwater cage.
But you're here.
I escaped.
Okay. Oh no, Farron's. What are you doing? Why? Why is he doing that?
So for a while, he told us he's been tracking the wizard that's also going after the artifact. I have no idea if this is true or not. But he's just been repeating the same message about the pirate being in the high seas, which to me seems completely illogical.
All right. So, God, what can I do to help you?
I mean, you're literally the most powerful wizard I know, and I'll never know. I was hoping you would know if there's anything we can do about this mess. Because right now, I mean, the good news is that his item is underwater right now, but I have no idea what are his intentions.
Underwater. You keep saying underwater, like
a
Did he-
city underwater.
he built a city underwater?
He said he built it.
That's rad.
Yes.
Dear Lord, okay. Once this mess is all over, I need him to come back up here before I turn back into dust. I would love to chat with him, see what he's been up to all these years, but it sounds like he's being paranoid as hell.
Yeah, I have no idea if my party mates are still there or not. I did not.
Did you tell them that you were here?
I just couldn't know if he was listening in. Like, you know very well, he's an extremely powerful wizard. Anything I could do could have gotten recorded. I could not take
boy.
chances.
Oh boy. Farron's, what have you gotten yourself into? All right. Okay. I don't know what I can do for you at this point. I'm stuck here. My magic is not nearly as strong as it used to if you can think of something for me to do, then by all means, I will be more than happy to assist. Clearly, what Ferenz is doing is dumb. But
Yes.
there's probably very little I can do. Maybe I could write another note for you, and then you could bring that to him. Like I'm kind of out of ideas, though.
It's not a bad idea. It's something I definitely could do.
All right. Well, let me write up a letter real quick. You got a pen and some paper on you?
If I don't, I'll get some from town. So let's just skip that.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that you have some. All right. So, and he begins scribbling down a note, and it's full of a lot of expletives, and calling Ferns an idiot, and he signs it, and he seals the letter and hands it to you and says, "All right, go crack some sense into that man's thick skull."
All right.
With a
And I'll
hammer.
just. So what I'll do is I'll take the message. I'll get right back on the road, and when I sense that daily scry coming, I'll bring the message out so that so that Fern can see it.
Ooh, all right. Roll me a scry will save, unless you just want to.
I'll let him
allow
like,
it.
like
All right.
I just like once I sense it or whatever, like I just let him in so they can see me and he can see the message.
Interesting. I love this. All right. But obviously, it's not going to be until the morning. So in the
Right.
meantime, yeah. So let's cut to everybody else. You guys are in Lakshisan. What do you do?
Slightly sad that I haven't learned their language. Like,
I'm going to try and move the main path through the cobwebs.
All right. Yeah, you head down the path, and sure enough, it's the exact same monastery you remember. Let me see. Let me pull up the. Where is it? Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Same old monastery you remember. Super foggy, nighttime, lots of monkey monks. And in fact, the grandmaster of the monastery who greeted you last time, he sees that you're there and looks you up and down and says, "Not that I'm objecting to your presence here, but again?"
but is it
I
really
mean,
that unusual? Come on now.
We actually went. Apparently, we came in through an obelisk that's not very well used because it's underwater.
You came from the one off the coast of Arnath, then?
Yes.
Yep.
That's why got
That does make sense given the. What were you doing underwater by that obelisk on the full moon?
Long story.
very, very long story, but short to the chase. There was a wizard who was being very, very paranoid and was just trying to keep him in his little small underwater city. And so we were trying to more or less escape.
Well,
It was about
I'm glad that our obelisks were able to assist you in that matter.
I'm sorry
if you-
for bugging you. We're sorry
mean,
for.
We're welcome to all guests. If you'd just like to spend the night here and
If it
recoup
helps,
yourselves.
if it helps, we can at least help you by telling you that the obelisk you sent us out last time no longer exists. They built a shopping mall on top of it.
You're kidding.
Nope. We actually ended up in the basement to a workshop run by Slaver.
Oh
Slave
no.
Kobold.
This is
So I
most
it-
unfortunate.
It
I
got
wouldn't
burned
use
to the
that one.
ground.
We don't tend to go to Riddleport terribly often. For good reason, I feel.
Yeah.
Very good reason.
But we will make sure that knowledge is passed around of that matter. That's
I was
unfortunate.
planning on telling you that one day eventually. I just didn't figure it would be that soon already.
It's certainly unusual. Anyways, I can lead you to some beds for tonight if you'd like.
Terribly kind.
And he leads you up to some beds, and you guys have a very lovely evening. Those beds are super duper comfy, although not quite as comfy as the ones back at Farron's Dome. They're not quite as opulent here either, though. So the next morning comes, and sure enough, Nava, you feel a scry coming, and you don't resist it.
I don't resist it.
You just open up this note and like shove it to the sky as you're traveling, and you're ready for this. And the scry lingers on you for a bit before fading. Probably about long enough to read the note.
Too bad no one's there to see what's going to happen, but hey, at least you got them.
Well, if you had
It was a
waited
good
little,
thought.
if you had waited a little longer, Railgo probably would have said it sooner that it was that there was an obelisk out.
And it's the next morning for you guys at Lakshi Song, too. What do you guys do?
We're gonna ask if there's any obelisk near Daventry.
And the Grandmaster looks at you and says, "Oh, absolutely. Daventry is such a large city that we certainly have an obelisk nearby. It's up on one of the cliff sides nearby. If that's where you'd like to head, then we can certainly connect you that way."
That is where we would like to head.
"Then follow me, please." And he leads you down one of the walkways. And this road actually seems pretty well used. And he says, "Please wait right there." And you guys step onto the platform, and then the fog comes, surrounds you.
I'm still wondering why there's an obelisk off the coast. Are
I
they
think
expect to get burpee?
Actually, would you have asked him that before you left?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Oh, well, our monastery has been around for quite some time. The sea levels are rising in that area. It didn't used to be underwater.
Oh, good thing it still works underwater. Fog still appears.
Yes, it is certainly fortunate that it still works for your sakes in this case. And sure enough, fog comes and surrounds you, and then opens up again, and you're up on a cliffside overlooking the whole of the city of Daventry.
And
Yay.
we might as well. Well, we might as well head to Lumpy's place, or the name of that.
Uncle Lumpy's Magical Goods.
I was close.
Lumpy's
Yeah,
place
so
is the colloquial term.
Yeah.
So you head on over. You head into town and head straight for Uncle Lumpy's Magical Goods.
See if Nava popped in.
So,
And Uncle Lumpy sees you approaching and waves enthusiastically. He's very excited to see you back. And he looks you up and down and says, "Hello there. Is Nava with you?"
We were wondering if you had seen.
"Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
I haven't seen Nava since the last time I saw the lot of you."
Nava got kind of jumpy and left us, and we were hoping that they would have gone here. It's been like a few days, and we just took a fast path here, so we were hoping that they would only have, arrived recently.
Well, I guess it's time to see our other contact town. If something, it's nice, chatting with you, Lumpy.
Yeah,
Or-
certainly. If you're not in a rush, then you're welcome to join us for dinner here. We're
Um,
always friends of Nava's.
Yeah, we probably will when we show after we check out that other place first.
I'm sure that Nava will get here if they're already in the area. So yeah, we're gonna come.
All right, now do you head on over to the Evil Crusher estate?
No, I was gonna head over.
Roll
Okay.
edge to find out if we run into each other on the road. Wait, wrong system.
Wait, where are you heading now? Sorry, I didn't catch the end of that.
Bakerton.
Oh, you're heading to Bakerton. Oh, okay. All right,
Where-
so you head up to Bakerton's catacomb, and you head in. Bakerton looks actually very confused when he sees you all. He says, "Wait, aren't you all supposed to be trapped underwater somewhere?"
If Nava had waited about 2 hours or had asked or anything going off on his own, there's a monastery that has obelisks all over the
There's a magic
something like that.
teleporting obelisk in the area.
Basically, the night of the full moon, they teleport you to the monastery. Which
All right, so you managed to teleport here. That's enough information for me. I don't care that much, honestly. Look,
there was one outside of Farron's underwater city. That was underwater.
interesting.
So
So
I see
we-
Nava has been here.
Nava was here. Nava, you just missed Nava. About you missed Nava by about 8 hours.
Well,
I suspect Nava was heading back toward Orna, potentially to give the letter I just wrote to Farron's.
Farron's actually gave us all anti-scrying pens. I'm guessing Nava got very, very suspicious and that might. But Velmir over here checked. They are exactly what they say. They're anti-scrying pins, but Nava doesn't have it. So Farron's been trying to scry him. So if Nava might have known that, so he might have let the scrying happen. Showed the note that way.
Huh. All right. Well, okay. So I have no idea where Nava is. Good luck finding Nava.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, we're gonna probably head towards Uncle Lumpy's.
I mean, if any of you are particularly good at tracking, you could probably track Nava.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am riding a wagon with horses. Like, it's not.
I'm gonna roll survival.
We might as well head over to Uncle Lumpy's, but I'm gonna I'm magical whatever place.
Okay, then. Well, yeah, you actually see cart trails that you recognize immediately as your own cart trails outside the catacombs. Somehow, you're just really good at it. Just trust me. You rolled an @20. Nobody's question.
Maybe it was divine help without even asking.
But
I mean, dogs are good at tracking.
That's true. Does Shiba grant its followers bonuses to tracking?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I like it.
But in any case, I was going to say we should. I need to make a pit stop. I want to make sure that someone gets a copy of that thing. That way they can at least have some people looking about here, in case the wizard shows up here.
If I ever lose track of the track, I could just use my speak with animals ability to ask some squirrels whenever I went.
That's true.
I'm not sure how come.
So dumb.
So yeah, I was gonna head to the Evil Crusher State anyways before we
Oh no, I don't have speak with animals. I've pretty disagreed. Never mind.
went back to Uncle's before going on.
All right. Yeah. So you head to the Evil Crusher estate, and you manage to you knock on Demeric's door, and his servant opens it up and says, "Ah, yes, Master Sajachi. We shall get Master Evil Crusher for you immediately." And he gestures for you to come inside and take a seat.
Mm-hmm. I do. I come inside and take a seat.
And sure enough, Demeric comes down the stairs and says, "Ah, Rogil, what are you doing here?"
I just we had a recent come here with trying to track my party and I were trying to track after one of our members who kind of went off on his own up to here, and we're following him, trying to catch up to him. But
hold on. Actually, Vrogo, you were the one that you did send me that message in my dream last night, right? I didn't think that you had any spellcasting ability.
We met. We were briefly staying with a wizard. Cast a spell on me. Let me send the message.
Oh, interesting. Well, we've posted up that a good sketch of that all over town. So, everybody's keeping an eye out for the necromancer.
Mm-hmm. That's good to hear. I was gonna say I have the original if you wanted it or.
It certainly couldn't hurt. It'd probably be better for making copies than an image from a dream.
Yeah. Okay. I pulled the sketch out and hand it over so I can make a copy.
All right. He takes and goes, "Thank you. We'll put this to use immediately."
Mm-hmm. He's rather dangerous stuff, or at least as mentioned, he apparently found out from the wizard he apparently attacked Hog with an army of undead. About 50.
Yeah, Zrydan. It was all over the news a few years back. I remember him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, everybody in town is keeping an eye out for him. Now, what'd you come here today for?
Just to check in and give you that sketch and that sort of stuff.
Huh, well, I'm touched. It's good to see you again, bro. Unfortunately, I've got a lot of stuff I got to do today.
I understand.
I'm pretty busy. You actually caught me at a really good time, but I do need to get back to work.
Okay.
You should swing by. How about what are you doing Friday?
Probably going to be on the road on an adventure or trying to catch up with the party member, anyways.
Bah. All right. Oh well. Next time you're in town, for any period of time longer than 10 minutes, let me know. I'd love to have dinner with you.
Yeah. Again,
you take care of yourself, Ragul.
Yeah, you too. And I'm wave goodbye and head out of the estate. All
right.
And I don't know if the other party members followed me or not. So
probably not. I mean, we all know that we're going to meet up at Uncle Lumpy's later anyway. We were just going to assume that you had some relatives that you had to visit or something.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys have a delightful dinner with Uncle Lumpy. Nav, are you just continuing on the road back toward Orna?
I have no reason not to.
All right, cool.
You were back to Devonshire and you didn't visit your Uncle Lumpy. That's sad.
I was thinking of you guys. Like, that's why I did all that.
Well, now we're here with Uncle Lumpy without you.
Well, at the risk of the party getting to avoid the risk of the party getting too split up, I think I'm gonna call the session for now.
All right,
and then I'm gonna figure out a way to get you guys not split up anymore.
I mean,
you're in a state where none of you really want to be split up anymore. So I'll see what strings I can pull that don't feel like BS.
I mean, there's the fact of, if we know where we're going, or if we can follow Nava's tracks and stuff, horses and such not attached to carriage can probably move a good bit faster than those attached to a carriage.
Oh yeah, you can totally outrun me. Right, no problem.
That's fair. That is definitely fair.
Right, I can do that.
But I'm still gonna call it for now. It was a fun session, guys. I'm pleased with how it turned out.
Were you expecting us to leave through the monastery?
Yeah, so that was kind of the hook I was giving you guys out of there. I'm very intrigued that Nava just bailed.
The precedent has been set.
I was not expecting that, in all honesty. I was expecting you guys to bide your time and wait for the full moon, but I'm very happy with how this turned out. This is a lot of fun.
If Nava hadn't bailed, Rego probably would have only said anything on at the day of the full moon.
Yeah, but Nava got to enjoy like a week outside and instead of being cooped up under the water, and that's a net positive.
I'd agree with that.
And imagine Florence now, how messed up he got only Nava leaving. Now we're all gone. He's gonna be completely ruined.
And he got insulted by his old buddy.
God damn it, Farrens! Don't be an idiot!